So, hello everyone. Very good morning to everyone. So, today we are going to have a very special session on cyber security, right? So, in the today's digital age and digital era, knowing about the cyber security is very essential because the cyber world and the cyberspace are now intricately linked to our own life, right? Just like breathing oxygen, every time, everywhere we're having cyberspace, right? About in each and every aspect of our life, cyberspace is there. But we rarely are aware about lot of intricacies about the cyber and its issues and about the security. So today, to speak about all these things and making you aware about the cyber issues, we do have a very special guest with us, the founder and the director of ISAC, that is Vinay Kumar Nagaraj, sir. So I welcome you, sir, for this session. So this session will be enlightening you all the things about the basics about the cyber security, how they really work, the practical aspects about it, and what the aspirants or the students are in general as a citizen you should know about the cyberspace, right? So I will hand over this to Vinay sir. And one more note, short note, that the students who came recently, guys, please do scan this QR code because there are going to be certain demos, etc., that sir will be providing you. So please do scan this QR code. You please enter it. It is purely safe, absolutely safe. So basically after that, sir will be taking over. So I will hand over to sir. So welcome you all. Thank you. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. Well, I still see a lot of you sleeping, not having breakfast, not in full energy. Well, this is a session on cyber security, so it's very important to be very attentive, and my special eyesight would be there on that particular corner and all your last benches. Okay, so this is going to be a very interactive session. Okay, and just one small correction there. Ashish sir mentioned that it's a founder and director of ISAC. That's no. Founder and director is someone else, and I just look after the function of strategic and new initiatives at ISAC. So we'll touch upon the subject of what exactly is ISAC and what exactly we do. Okay, so just to get you into the particular form, how many of you have seen the Family Man web series in Amazon? Oh, that's good. Have you ever met that Family Man? Okay. Well, I am someone who you can connect with that particular Family Man. Because if you remember, that particular series has a department called as TASC, is that right? Threat Analysis and Sharing Center. And exactly IASC, right? ISAC. What is that? Information Sharing and Analysis Center, right? So now I hope all the people who are sleeping there, you woke up, right? We can get going. Awesome. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate and thanks the management of InsightsIAS and Vinay sir in particular to have given us this particular opportunity to conduct this particular session out here. And more so, this is very specific, very special for us as well, because once upon a time I was also out there amongst you. I was also a civil services aspirant. It didn't work out, and of course the rejection happens, and life is so beautiful that it takes you to something fantastic. You just need to wait and watch. Even if you are successful, fantastic. Even if you are not able to make it there, life has something fantastic out there for you, and you will be able to explore it. So just hold on, be patient, and God has a fantastic design for you. It will just come out. You just need to have patience. Okay. So having said that, I would like to just begin this particular presentation because I got my 90 minutes, and as a civil services aspirant, I know the word limitation and time limitation is very important. So I plan to finish up in particular time. Okay, so awareness on cybercrime prevention. So this is a COP Connect logo that you can remember, and that is ISAC logo. And of course, today's program we have been supported by Zscaler, which is a cybersecurity leader in itself in zero trust architecture. So this particular part of the campaign is through a CSR funding from Zscaler. So thanks to all this, and most important thing is that you need to scan this particular QR code. It will ask you to register through your registered email IDs. That is basically because we are capturing your email IDs for generation of NSD CAN certificate. Now what is NSD, what is CAN, I'll come to all those things. But if you want to get that particular certificate, it's important that you scan this QR code, and this QR code would, it would be deactivated post this particular session. So please ensure that only during this particular session this QR code is there. So basically you want to ensure that whoever is sitting in this room, only the active participants get this particular certificate, because there's a value to this National Security Database certificate. Okay. So having said that, let's move ahead. Is there a presentation clip? Is this one? Yeah. Okay, no problem. I'm comfortable with this. Okay. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me there? Okay. Okay. Moving ahead. So this is what the introduction of ISAC is all about. So what usually happens is that whenever there's a terrorist attack or any sort of bad action that happens in the country, we always there intel failure. Yeah, intel is not there, right? That is never the case. Even if there's a bhajiwala selling some particular vegetable, there's a intel. But what is most important is whether there's an actionable intelligence or not. Okay, so that is the difference between intel and actionable intel. So even during the Bombay bomb blast and all, the 26/11 that happened, there was bits and bits of information everywhere, but there was no particular platform wherein it got shared. So that is how the genesis of ISAC came into the picture, and it's an agency which directly reports into NTRO through NCIAPC. So those are some keywords that you can look up later on. We are not going to explore that more, but it's a shadow organization of the government of India that you can say that we report into NTRO. So it's a registered NGO as such, but it's got nothing to do with the government. So that is how it operates. Okay. So you can say it as it's basically the cyber intel agency wherein we keep a lookout for all the threat actors, what's happening in the cyber world, because some of you might know what is the APT is, right? Advanced persistent threats, what Pakistan is doing, what China is doing, what the bad threat actors are doing. So we keep a lookout for them, and then we keep on collecting intel and give it to government agencies so that they can basically for the cyber resilience of the nation. So this is what ISAC is all about. So that's the reason, like we have a lot of MOU with a lot of defense ministry, education ministry, and all those things, and we work in very close coordination with almost a lot of big educational institutes like IITs and all. So the technical part is there, the intel part is there, and of course the skill building and enhancement part is also there for the government. That is the reason you see all big logos. And most important is the CERTIN, which is the Computer Emergency Response Team of India. So any particular incident happen, whether it's a corporate world or a government, so they are supposed to report it back to this particular agency within 6 hours, so that experts can come and help you out in resurrecting yourself, in coming out of that situation. Especially ransomware incidents and all, you have got a 6 hours deadline wherein you need to report to this agency, and then they will help you with experts. They will help you what exactly to do, what is the next step of action, right? So getting to the next slide, let us look into what is cyber security and how is it impacting us. Okay. Well, rather than asking you what is cyber security, I'd like to give you an example, say a scenario wherein you are interacting with a very senior citizen. Say for example your Ajja or your grandfather, whomever you want to call. Okay. So you might come across some dialogues from them that I am not interested in computer, I use a very old mobile phone, I really don't care what is happening. There's a typical things that you hear either from people who are not very much involved into what's happening in the latest tech world, or for that matter who are not in a position to be there, right? So what is the net understanding is that it's immaterial whether you are interested or not. If there's a cyclone, it's going to come and hit you. It's not that you stand in front of a cyclone, I am not interested in cyclone, I am safe, right? Is that the case? So very similarly, when you are operating in a world which is digital India, digital world, everything is so digital, it's immaterial whether you are interested to be a part of it or not, you are forced to be part of it, right? It's like going on a road. It's not only that you need to be careful about your driving, you also need to be careful about what other person is doing, right? If there's a drunkard coming from the other side, you better stop and let him go, or else he's going to come and crash into you and you are going to get impacted by it. Very similarly, even in a cyber security world, you need to be responsible for not only you but also others. At least you need to be aware. You can control what is being controllable in your bucket, but at the same time you should be aware about what's there and how you are going to get impacted. Okay. Having said that, these are all some big numbers. Of course, every day you open your newspaper, from page 4, 5, it has already started coming into the headlines page nowadays. How many rapes, how many murders, that is no more the headlines. How many people have got hit, what is the financial fraud, that has almost become the daily headlines. Whether it's a regional newspaper, national newspaper, international newspaper, this is what is the major headlines. And the numbers are not important. What is important is, as civil services aspirants, you always know, numbers hide the big picture. They can be used multiple ways, right? But what's important is the narrative, right? So if you talk to any police personnel, usually police is all about law and order, and they would say rape, murder, and dacoity, these are the biggest crimes. But slowly, after this digital India stuff in the last 10 years, the single largest organized crimes in the nation today is not rape or murder or dacoity for that matter, where the physical policing is happening. It's cybercrime. Okay, like typical estimates out here say that around 24,000 crore rupees is lost in cyber crimes. That is known, audited, reported cyber crime. Just imagine how many people who get hit with a cyber crime and they don't go in and report. It's almost like 10x. So you can easily multiply this number with almost 10x. So that comes to how much? Almost like 40 billion US dollars, or almost like 2 lakh crore rupees. So are you getting the limit and extent of this organized cyber crime that's happening? Right? Now, this is something what you can say is, ho raha hai duniya mein, humko kya? Right? Now, let me show you how exactly it's getting related to you guys. Now, most of you are civil services aspirants. After engineering, you are trying to, take a break from your career and fully focus on civil services. And, you are coming to this coaching with a very guided attention. You are trying to give the exam. Right? Very similarly, you would be fully surprised that there are coaching camps like this being conducted on how to teach you how to do a cyber crime. Right? So, just taking a quick guess, nothing offense to Insights, possibly they are charging 30, 40, 50,000 for you. But let me tell you, people are spending almost like 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees in attending coaching camps to find out how to do a cyber crime. That is the reality of our country today. And these are all 10th fail, 12th fail rural people who don't have any other, employment options. So that is the extent to which this particular crime or this scenario is impacting the society today. Right? So as civil services aspirant, you always talk about LWE, left-wing extremism, how many districts, Pashupati to Tirupati and all those dialogues, right? That is all gone. Get to the latest stuff. Latest stuff is all cyber world. 30 major districts in the country are already impacted with cyber crime today, right? This is the biggest single headache of the Home Ministry today. Because imagine like a cottage industry, cyber crime has become the #1 cottage industry in 30 big districts of India. Right? This is the current contemporary situation. I'm sure many of you people know about the new incident or various other gangs that operate in North India nowadays. And most of you know about the Jamtara series. Anyone who doesn't know about the Jamtara series? Hands up who doesn't know the Jamtara? Okay, that's good enough. That means that we are doing a good job by conducting the awareness session today. Right? So, that's good. That's what I said. Good or bad, it's always for the good only. So basically, there's a series called as Jamtara in Amazon, I think. I'm not sure, Amazon, right? So there it will show you in the last 10 years how the mobile phone, which is the gateway to the cyber world, has become almost like a cottage industry for cyber crime. How entire districts, like you have a dacoits gang or a robbery gang. Similarly, people sitting in the villages, they are trying to come up with SOPs, procedures on how to cheat people who are there in the cities and make money. Right? So you remember those calls coming from SBI or any other bank, loan chahiye kya? And then you very happily give your PAN card, Aadhaar card, God knows what all things to them without even verifying whether they are from SBI. In fact, the SOP standard procedure is, if anyone is asking you from a branch to give you all these documents, you say, are you from SBI? Whereas anyone calls you on a call, you easily give them. Right? So that is what has happened in the country. Right? So in fact, we even had the opportunity to interact and interview some of them, these people from these particular gangs. And one single dialogue that they tell, sorry for my words, but they said, आपको इस तरह से पैसा काटते हुए हमें बहुत मजा आता है. Because we are illiterate, people take it as dumb, fit for nothing. And when we go ahead and cheat, educated, highly educated people, and they are like fools, transfer money, 1 crore, 2 crores. So they feel it's the best thing to do, right? It's the best employment opportunity to have. So this is exactly those words that those people use. And mark you, the cyber victims are not, some person who is selling milk or vegetable. They're also highly ranked army officers, commanders, commissioners, you name them, businessmen, VIP, parliamentarians, you name them. Every walk of society is equally represented in this crime, or rather the victims of this particular crime, right? That is the extent to which these particular things have impacted our country in the last few years, especially after Digital India campaign, or the denotification that has happened, or the UPI that has come in. Now these things are all not bad. That is not the idea of this particular session. What is being asked to when you are using particular technology, you need to know what are the impacts, how to use it in the right sense. That's very important, right? Like as I was mentioning earlier, when you go out to drive, you first look for a learning license or at least a driving license to put your vehicle on the road. You know how to drive. But imagine driving on this digital highway, you have all the latest phones. Any particular phone comes with at least 500 particular features. How many features do you know? Do you actually know how your mobile phone is interacting, or for that matter, how it's collecting your data, who is using that particular data? In fact, your mobile phone, what you're using, more than you, it's some other people who are using your phone, your data. You can say my phone, but no, it's not your phone. It's someone else's phone using your data, right? So as civil services aspirants, you would be into a lot of policy gaming later on in your life if you make it. Even if you don't make it, there are a lot of other avenues where you will be at the forefront, because you are the people who run behind GS, general studies, right? Very good. That is exactly the point. Since you people are more attuned to consuming GS, it becomes very important for you to be better aware so that you can help the society. If you ask an engineer about a GS, he would say, what's for me? Share market, what is the price today? I am interested more in that, right? But policy decisions, you know the impact. What is the homework that has gone behind making that policy? What are the plus and minus of that policy? Where it has got a better curve, where it needs to be curved better. All these fine nuances, you know it, right? Very similarly, when it comes to these numbers, as I mentioned, it is becoming a single largest organized crime. So what can you do as civil services aspirants? That's the big question. Because let me tell you, let me put some numbers in perspective. I'm sure most of you want to become an IPS officer, right? Or rather you want to go into some sort of uniform services. This country has got around 17,000 police stations, right? I'm including all the special police stations also used for various other purposes. But general law and order duty, 14,000 plus police stations. Numbers keep on increasing here and there. Take a rough figure of 14,000, right? How many districts are there? Once again keeps on changing. Let us say 800, right? 800 districts, 14,000 police stations. I'm not going to the number of policemen, but basically 14,000 police stations are there, right? Is cybercrime a state subject? You're going to hit from Pakistan, US, Russia, it's an international crime. Whereas law and order is a state subject. Do you think your Bangalore police is fit enough to, save you from Pakistanis or Chinese or whatever? Possibly, yes, they will try their best. But cybercrime is not a state law and order subject. That is the reason, with the experience that has been gained into this particular sort of crimes, India has of late, with full potential, we have been able to set only 400 CEN police stations as of now. That is cyber economics narcotics police station. So now see the scenario, 800 districts, 400 CEN police stations. So you don't even have one police station looking into cyber crime in an entire district. Whereas you are saying that is the single largest organized crime that's happening. You see the mismatch of demand and supply, skill set, capability, whatever you want to name it, right? So the scenario, if I come very specific to Bangalore, a city like Bangalore, which is the Silicon Valley tech capital and all, till 2 years back we had only one police station in Bangalore, which was the Whitefield CEN police station. So any cybercrime happening anywhere, you were supposed to visit the Whitefield CEN police station and report this crime, right? Of late, around 9 police stations have come only for Bangalore. But let us say crime happens in Tumkur or Chikmagalur or Madikeri or Bidar or Gadag, entire district will have one police station. And that too, there is no guarantee that that police station will be properly staffed or that particular staff would be properly trained, right? So that is the sort of problem that we are facing in the country nowadays. Either there is no police staff, or there is no training required, or there is no follow-up required, or the cyber law structure, what is required to deal with such sort of crimes, is totally missing. This is exactly where people like you who chase GS, who knows how the policy impacts happen, what is the policy sufficiencies, deficiencies, you will be able to fill in the gaps. So that's the major reason. I am not concentrating on the numbers, because numbers will change overnight depending upon how aware you guys are, right? So that's the important criteria. So as I mentioned, you could be next if you are not prepared, but if there is awareness, if you know how to take actions or take responsive actions, take precautionary actions, you will not be the next victim, right? We deal with this particular cyber crimes day in and day out. Let me tell you, as I already mentioned, absolutely illiterate person till the president, secretary, or even the president herself could have been a victim of cyber crime. That is the level, that is the spectrum that is being covered with these criminals, right? So very first thing, don't be a victim. It's not your choice, right? But if you do become a victim, what steps that you need to take? Because let me tell you, the most educated, the most ferociously socially active person, when he gets hit also, he is in a position, he goes numb, psychologically numb. He is not in a position to think logically. He is not in a position to take instructions. Because he thinks, "Ye mere saath kaisa ho gaya? How did I become a fool?" That is the first question you are trying to find an answer for, right? So do not worry, we will take you to the next step of actions, what needs to be done, right? Now a question to the last benches, okay? I am sure you can see the pic from there. Can you identify the fake profile pic here? I'll ask this question to the person in the hat there, the topi, because you are the only one who is being unique. Can you identify the fake profile pic here? Oh, there's a TV there, fine, you can have a look. Which one? Make a guess fast. Akshay Kumar, okay. What about you? Absolutely in front of the screen. First one, okay. Possibly you. First one, okay. Now if I put up this picture 2 years back, the answers that I received from the crowd was entirely different. The latest is, this answer is subjective, okay. So the latest is all of them are fake. Okay. Because today the technology has enabled me to create fake profile pictures of damn anyone. Are you getting it? So if there is a humanoid or a robot, I can create a fake picture of that as well today. Forget humans, right? So let me give you an example to prove this particular point and what is the impact of the crime that happens. So tomorrow if you receive a Facebook request from Akshay Kumar, how many people will accept it? Arey Akshay Kumar! Right? So suddenly logic goes for a toss and most likely you will accept it. Or for that matter, let us say, ma'am is your very close friend and you know that she likes Akshay Kumar and she is a fan club member or something. If some link comes from her and this particular picture opens up, the truth angle increases. Oh, I know this girl, she knows, so it's almost like a verified stuff. Let me also click and become a member, right? Because we depend upon the trust factor in society. I know you, you know someone, so the probability of knowing that person as a friend would be much better, right? That is when you see pictures like this. Or for that matter, especially for people who like to see this cat fans, dog fans, elephant fans, all animal fans, right? So usually you tend to, if you have a liking for that particular animal, then easily you fall into such traps. Let me give you an example. If I talk about cats and dogs, possibly others might not be able to link it. Let us say I put a photo of a very famous elephant carrying Mysore Dasara procession. What is that? Arjun or whatever. Rajendra Arjun. Sorry for my GS. Okay. So the elephant keeps on changing, right? That's the problem. Okay. So suppose I put that particular pic and say this is a fan club, giving exclusive toys and pictures and whatnot of this particular Dasara elephant Jumbo Safari club. I'm sure as Kannadigas everyone would have a liking for that, right? possibly someone from Bihar, Jharkhand may say, "ये क्या हाथी दिखा रहे हैं?" Right? So depending upon your contextual reference, I can fool you. This is the most important point. Or for that matter, I'll put a picture of some IT officer or even the emblem of seal and authority of the president. So depending upon your liking or depending upon what sort of a person you are and what your expectation is, your liking levels will change and you will fall into the trap. So that is the basic idea that we wanted to project here. Do not go by pics. आँखों देखी पे मत जाओ. That is the latest. Right? In olden times we used to say that only see and then believe. But today's world, even when you see, even when you hear, it's not a guarantee that it's the truth. Right? So truth has been compromised big time. I'll come to other examples. Right? So one good thing, all the banks and everyone wants you to believe is that, like always believe that, keep on changing your password. Like 12 digit, 15 digit, make it complex, make it super case, all that case, all this, all that password changes stuff, right? But let me tell you, today is 2025, we are in almost like 1/4 of the century is gone. The latest technology or the latest reality is, boss, I know your username and your password. Any bank, any financial institution, your password is not going to save you anymore. Right? This is a very educated and mature group of people. That is the reason I am making this particular claim. I will not make this claim in front of, say, college goers or like school kids, right? Because it's a very complex situation. Please try to understand. Today when I go to the dark web and try to find out the database of what's there, I'll be shocked that almost every one of your username and password is already there. What is not there, what is saving you today is the OTP, which is once again an India-based innovation from RBI. You don't have such OTPs, say, in GCC countries or Western countries or anywhere else. You only need to enter your credit card details and twing, gone. Right? So only this OTP is actually saving you today because of RBI guidelines. And that too, there is a lot of crying here going in the country that there is a delay in the transaction time because of the OTPs and all. And the latest is that RBI just sent out a circular that I think by May 2026, please pardon me for the month, it could be April or May 2026, this particular technology is also being changed. It's not only going to be just the OTPs, but banks have been given the freedom to decide whether they want just the OTPs or some other newer technologies or a combination of both. Okay, so when we say combination of both, there is a lot of thing involved in the back end, in the technology stack. There could be delay in the transaction, there could be delay in terms of telecom infrastructure, and a lot of other things. But that particular freedom has been given by RBI to the banks now. Right? So what is important out here is that there's this particular website which says, have I been pawned? Okay, so please go and check this particular website. Nowadays, this thing is also integrated into your antivirus stuff like McAfee and all, wherein it will tell you whether your password has been part of any data breach earlier. For example, you enter your password of Yahoo, Gmail and all into Swiggy, Zomato, God not what all services, right? One password leak is gone, that means that all your application is compromised, right? For example, what's your name, sir? Okay, so let us say that somehow I got to know the Gmail password of Vivek, right? I will pretty know his entire virtual history, what cab he takes, where he goes, where he lives, how much rent he pays, what all application he uses, where he uses the laundry, which Zomato, which Uber, what is his food habits, which movies he went, right? What dating services he uses. Pretty any damn detail of the virtual world is available to with your Gmail password. Why? Because everywhere you registered it, you gave your Gmail password as the underlying platform, right? So if your Gmail password is compromised, your entire virtual history is out. That is exactly the reason why I said when we go to dark web and look out for user IDs and password, say for example of Kotak Bank or HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank or whatever, and we have the habit of keeping our bank password same as Gmail password and application passwords and whatnot, right? Because ease of use, we don't want to remember a number of things, right? So we think that putting in a very strong password will help us, or changing the password every 3 months is going to help us. Yes, changing will help in the sense that if this Gmail password of Vivek was, say for example, insights at 123, he was using that, let us say in January, and today he is using something like InsightsIAS923, something like that. So he has changed his password. His old password is known, but because of his new password, I am not able to log in, right? So that is one of the ways of putting a speed breaker, but not a barrel curtain that I will not be able to get in at all. So please keep changing your password, but password alone is not going to help you. Please have this in the back of your mind. I'll give you an example. We went and audited one very big nationalized bank. Fantastic password policy, IT policy. All the staff is forced to do the password change every month. But you know what they change? In January they kept it as January 123, February they kept it as February 123, March they kept it as March 123. So if I am a hacker trying to get into that particular bank, I just need to change the month, that's it. But are they following password policy? Yes. Are they changing their password? Yes. Are they making it complex? Yes. But tell us, hey, what's your password? October 123. Right? So don't be a fool of the policy itself. Use your brains. And that's exactly the problem. Use a pattern. Today machines are there who do pattern recognition. Live in the 21st century, 2025. Right? There are pattern recognition stuff which is easily available, which can easily tell whether you are male or female, looking at your handwriting. Just imagine, can't it tell what your password is? Right? And how many passwords do you think you will use in your entire life? So today you might have access to say around 35 apps max to max. If I open your phone, if you are a very good user of smartphone, possibly 200 apps. But out of the 200 apps, possibly at any given point of time, you will be using hardly 10 to 12 different passwords in your life, including your bank, Gmail and whatnot. Office, if you are going to office. Right? So 10, 12 password recognition patterns is what I need to track if I really need to compromise someone. Most of you are not working. Even if I compromise, hardly I'll get some peanuts in the bank account, that is for sure. But just imagine, if I need to compromise Mr. Adani or Mr. Ambani or whatever, even those people with the latest technology, pattern recognition and AI will break them. Right? What is most important is they have an inbuilt quality of awareness that this is going to work. This is how the criminals also will think, so I need to be one step ahead. But just imagine if Mr. Ambani is not changing his password at all, thinking that he has spent millions of dollars in cyber security solutions. Is that going to work? Zero. Right? Because at the end of the day, awareness is what will keep him alive. So if it keeps him alive, there is no reason why it will not keep you alive. Right? So this is very important. Please understand that the technology has matured in a big way. Right? It's not linear. Right? So you are all product of the information age. You are going to be victims of the information age. You need to be one step ahead. That is the reason, coming back to the thing, it is not immaterial whether you like it or not. You are standing in front of a cyclone, you need to save yourself. Right? So this is one way of checking it, where all your password has been compromised. Please keep on changing it. Don't put any particular pattern to it. Usually you will see QWERTY at 123 or some sort of pattern. Do not put any patterns. Change your passwords quite frequently in something which you yourself will not be able to guess. Right? That is one thing. Second, so what is the solutions that we are looking at? So of late, Government of India has also recognized that, a lot of things that needs to be done not only at the individual level, but also institutional level as well. That is the reason why you have seen this, Department of Telecom getting really active nowadays in the last 1 or 2 days. And my friends are actually in charge of all these things, and this is their creations as a department. So you have something called this National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal. I'll come to this in detail, but let me just finish with the Department of Telecom. So you might have seen this nowadays, you even get in the Airtel spam possible. That is basically because of the so many calls that Airtel receives. It knows that, this particular number, once again, pattern is such that, it could be a possible spam call. That's the reason you get an alert saying Airtel spam alert. Right? I'm not only figuring out with Airtel, but that is a policy of the Department of Telecom itself. Each and every SIM that's active in the country has been categorized into three different stages, whether that particular SIM is good enough or risky enough or very high risky. So any transaction that happening from that particular SIM, especially in terms of messages, like for example, Vivek is sending out a message to say Sapna, right? So as soon as Vivek is typing out that message, Department of Telecom will know that Vivek has been a spammer all his life. He has been calling 100 people every day. So I'll inform Sapna, this looks like a spammer calling you or messaging you. please don't try to click on any links or something. And suppose if Vivek is sending out thousands of spams, then it's a critical category, I'll block it itself. I will block it. So Government of India has enabled the Department of Telecom to take such actions in the national interest. Now imagine, you are a risky user and you don't even know that your SIM number is being used for all naughty businesses in the country. Right? That is also a possibility. For example, Mr. Lalchandan sitting somewhere in Gujarat, he don't even know that his name has been used to take 100 SIM calls in Chennai. That's a possibility. Right? What is important is, किसी और का सिम में किसी और मजे कर रहे हैं. This is exactly what's happening in cyber crimes. Right? So, once again, they are seeing a lot of fake SIMs that are being, taken out of the systems. And one very important thing, which is, less likely nowadays, which used to happen earlier, is that there is always, cutting down the corners because of XYZ reasons. How the SIM operates is, for example, ma'am, you are using your mobile phone, and let us say the tower is in Atigupe, right? So your phone is actually talking to the nearest tower, and that needs to be done in an encrypted fashion, right? So that there is no man in the middle attack listening to what she is speaking, and the tower should be in an encrypted format. But some telecom operators were cutting corners and it was not encrypted. So any particular person who is using a mobile phone saying, hello Rama, hengidiya? So other person says, chanagidinappa, nin majalne martini. Right? Because man in the middle attack is happening. Why? Because Airtel or BSNL or whatever, they cut round the corners. So I not like to name any telecom operator, but that used to happen. Right? Now they got strict, but that is still not solving the problem. Okay, you will be able to see it live right now. Okay, how many of you have not changed your SIM card in the last 3 years? Raise your hand. Fantastic. So the probability of you getting cyber conned is almost like more than 100%. You know why? You know why? See, you are using Microsoft, you are using softwares, you are seeing latest hardware, iPhones and all. Why do you use the latest ones? Because there is patching that happens. Hardware patching, software patching, app patching. Any particular loopholes, it's always getting patched. But the most important thing that's there inside your mobile, the SIM card, you're using a 3 years old stuff. In the industry, we call it as a hardware refresh cycle, which is usually 3 years in the corporate, and even your local PCs which you use at home, in every 5-6 years you change it, right? Because Windows Pentium yado jamande dapa. It is not fit enough to be used in today's applications and network, right? What's happening here is that earlier India did not have the capability to manufacture SIM cards. So most of the SIMs were getting imported from China, right? So when you have something getting imported from so-called nation which is not in interest with you because of so geopolitical situations, then there is a very high likelihood that the SIM is compromised. It could be a software compromise, it could be a hardware compromise or whatever. I would not say all the SIMs are compromised, but I can be very specific. For example, all the SIMs which are sold in Bangalore cantonment area or near ISRO headquarters, I can compromise only those SIMs, right? I can be very choosy. If I am a Chinese and I want to compromise Indian military installations in Bangalore, very easy for me. I will target only those Airtel stores, say in Bairasandra or near DRDO establishment or ISRO establishment, where they supply SIM cards to defense people, right? So there is a pattern, there is a way to think around. The cyber criminals are much smarter. They make use of the loopholes. So as civil services aspirant, I want you to be aware of such capabilities and how you need to safeguard the nation, safeguard yourself first, right? So that is one part of the SIM. I would not like to go in that because I can talk on hours together on that same particular subject. I would like to make you aware about one more thing. How many of you use an iPhone? Fantastic. You can raise your hand. Status symbol appa. Right? Okay. Even with the Android or the iPhone for that matter, how many of you use the eSIM? Fantastic. Great. Now, most of you don't even know what an eSIM is. Absolutely okay, no problem. It's not a status symbol. Okay. Now, many people use eSIM without knowing how to operate it, how to be careful with it, right? For example, you bring a new puppy into your house, you know exactly when to feed it, right? a new pet into your house, you know some sort of formality and SOPs to follow. Now eSIM is nothing but you do the recharge and all using a QR code, right? We'll come to that. QR code is nothing but some software logic that runs along with the QR code. So don't you think I can compromise that? I'm not against eSIM. That's a fantastic tool by which I can bring down the form factor. I can bring down the efficiency. Increase the efficiency. I can bring down the cost. You can go to international roaming and all. Use multiple SIMs. Fantastic. All are user features. All are user features. But at the end of the day, please be aware about how exactly to use it. If not, it's like driving a left-hand drive vehicle in a right-hand country, and then you go and crashing every here and there, and every person is going to make use of your status symbol of using a QR code related eSIM, right? So I would not like get into the SIM story too much. There's much to cover, but be aware about such new technologies what you are using. New technologies are always great, but how are you in sync with that technology? That's very important, right? And once again, it's giving rise to a lot of things. Usually iPhones, eSIMs, these are used by creamy layer of the society. So if I am a cyber criminal and I'm going to target them, do you think my return on investment would be good? Even if I spend 1 lakh rupees in targeting them, trying to understand them better, possibly I can make more money, right? I'm not going to do the same technique with some shopkeeper in Bangalore, right? Until unless he's a big iPhone sort of person, right? So this is where you can actually drill down to who exactly you are targeting. Target code is very important, right? Similarly, like there's a lot of other initiatives like spam calls, and most important of all, you might have not realized it. Please visit this particular website, especially when you lose your mobile phone, how to lock it, how to trace it, and how to get that mobile even back. So this is actually going to help the police people in tracing out your mobile phones, and there's a very high probability of you even getting back that mobile. Because most of the mobile phones in India, after they are stolen, goes to the second-hand shop, Cashify and things like that. I would not like to name it, but that is the usual route, right? So we know the pattern, we know the path. The police, law enforcement agencies, they would be in a better position to track it down and get it for you, right? So please visit this particular website. It's important, and I will also give you one particular example. To be very clear about things that happen. For example, you might be getting a lot of international calls, or for that matter, a lot of unwanted calls, usually from +9 to number. +92 is Pakistan, +91 is India, +92 is Pakistan. Usually you used to get from +92, now it has got into +1, other countries as well, but usually international calls. And you say, idyarappa naam ist famous engade, hello, international number bartira, right? So imagine, why is even anyone trying to do that? Right? As civil services aspirant, you need to connect the dots. Please try to understand. If I don't have any business, why will I try to follow each and every one of you and spend thousands of rupees, every day? There needs to be some economic benefit, right? Please try to understand that. Now, what's actually happening is, let us say I am targeting only Chanda layout. I'm drilling down into very small community of Chanda layout. Okay. Let us say from your Aadhaar card database, or for that matter, your election database, I know that some 75,000 people live here, right? So naturally, somewhere around 75,000 SIM cards also need to be active. Each one mobile, sabke saath ek mobile, right? So out of the 75,000, I need to create a database. How many SIMs are actually active? How do I do that? I'll give a missed call. If you pick it up, fine. I'll give second missed call. If you pick it up, fine. I'll try morning, I'll try afternoon, I'll try evening. So possibly 5 calls per day. Calling is free once again. Government of India has made calling free, incoming calls free, right? So maximum I'll call some 5 lakh times, 10 lakhs times, and I'll be able to create a database in Chanda layout, how many SIMs are actually active and who is most likely to pick up the call when. Suppose someone is in night shift or night duty. Do you think they'll pick up in the morning? International, right? So I have profiled the entire Chanda layout by making around 10 lakh calls free of cost, and I now have a database. 75,000 in Chanda layout, it's a known number, but is it economically important? Zero. But now after this exercise, if I tell that out of 75,000, 25,000 people do night shift, 25,000 people are in this particular location, 25,000 people are supposed to pick up the call in 2 rings, I create a database. Now it's wisdom. Now if I try to sell this particular data, There are people who are ready to give me even 1 crore. Why? It's targeted database. What did I do? I just created a software program to automate the calling and capture the analysis details. I created a dump. This is with Chanda layout. Imagine happening with Bangalore, Karnataka, Mumbai. Take up the numbers. How many mobile phones are there in the country? 80 crores. Possibly even if you duplicate all the things, possibly 100 crores. Good number. How much time will it take to automate 100 crores and find out an analysis? Now do you understand, if I put a price to that data of 100 crore mobile numbers, verified ones with analysis, now what is the cost? Will anyone pay me 500 crores for it? Possible? Right? And who might be interested in that sort of data? Surely not corporates, some nation state actors. This is the reason why you receive those important calls, missed calls, international calls, and all those things, because those are trial and tested methods to create databases. Getting the point? Are you able to connect the dots now? This is where we'll lie, right? So next time you receive a call, please take the pain of visiting the website, reporting that particular call, so that we are in a position to go ahead and cut that particular channel, or we know exactly who is playing what games. So you people are going to be our cyber policemen, right? The nation is not in a position to put cyber policemen in each and every houses. You are our cyber policeman, right? You are our family man, right? So each one teach one. Similarly, each one at least be aware about yourself. Teach yourself, then you can teach others, right? So this is the idea, right? Let's move ahead. As individuals, there are a lot of things that you can do for yourself, for your safety. One thing is Google's Find Hub. So please go ahead and enable the right options here, so that you are in a position not to download unwanted stuffs, or at least minimum your phone is secure. So please use this particular option of Google's Find Hub. You will be able to know where exactly your things might be compromised or how your phone might be leaking data, right? So it's suggesting you something. Install unknown apps. So very, very important. Most of the default settings are, it's ready to install any apps. For example, WhatsApp universities are so famous nowadays, right? You just receive a link from, say, your Chikappa, Dodappa, whoever it is. You click on that link, some unknown program will get installed on your mobile, gone, right? So at least be in a position where that installation doesn't happen automatically. That's the point, right? Because you trust your Dodappa, but do not forget your Dodappa might be compromised, right? I compromise one WhatsApp admin and 100 people can be compromised in one shot. Right? Just to give you an example, I'm not with any particular community, just a normal example. We recently celebrated the 100th anniversary of RSS formation, right? Now imagine the forwards that might have gone. I would have reached each and every nook and corners of the country by compromising one RSS person. Are you getting the extent of what I'm trying to say? Right? Depends upon my target audience. The same applies for any other religion or any other community or whatever. I'm just giving a good example because that was a recent event, right? Very similarly, let us take another good example. Now the caste census is happening in Karnataka. If you look into it properly, there's also a QR code which you can scan and you can do a self-declaration as well. Are you people aware? You can do a self-declaration. You can go ahead and do an Aadhaar verification, and you can do the entire exercise yourself sitting at home. Now, if you imagine that particular link is compromised, can you understand the impact? I'm not only talking about the economic impact, but also the political, social, whatever other impacts. Right? The government is spending almost 450 crores for this exercise. One newspaper report leak saying that, it has been compromised, will derail the entire exercise. 450 crores, swaha. Right? So it's not about any particular examples or any very directed facts that I'm saying, but it can happen with any institution, any corporates. It can happen with the InsightsIAS group, WhatsApp group here, right? It can happen with any political party. Almost everyone is there in the WhatsApp nowadays, right? One person compromised, gone. Are you understanding the severity? That's the point. Please understand the severity. I'm talking a very mature crowd of civil services aspirants. That's why I'm transparently bringing out facts in front of you, right? That is the most important thing. So there are certain things that you can make a look of. This is one very good. Just see where all you are getting, your personal informations are getting shared. Okay, now this is good. I want to just cross check How many of you know what a Google dashboard is? Now you know what a Google dashboard is? Have you heard about it? Okay. Ma'am, what about you? Yes? Google dashboard, have you heard about it? Okay. Anyone who has heard about Google dashboard? Anyone? I hope I'm audible. Last bench? Audible? Google dashboard, Kelidira, what is Google dashboard? Okay. So this is a good homework. Sapna, you can follow it up. Okay. I want all of you to just type Google dashboard in your Google search bar only. You will be taken to Google dashboard. Log in with your Gmail and you will be able to see what Google has tracked about you since the time you have done your Gmail account or you have created your Gmail account. You will be surprised to know that Google will know more details about you than you yourself knowing. It will tell you all details in your timeline, like where you went on which particular day. आज से 5 साल पहले आप किधर गए थे, किसके साथ खाना खाए थे, कौन सा मूवी देखे थे, right? Like they said, what you did last summer, I know, like there's a movie came, right? Very similarly, it will tell you right since the time you created this particular Gmail address, it will tell you every damn detail, what all reviews you have given, what all GPay payments you have made. Okay, nowadays GPay payments wherever you make, it will even tell you which Pani Puri vendor is most specific for you, where you visit often. Those details are also getting captured. Whether it's shown in the dashboard or not, that's a little complicated one because there are filters there. But that's the general idea. Google is tracking each and every details of yours and they have a dashboard and this dashboard is even visible for you. Most of the content is visible for you. So please go and review whether you really want Google to know so many things about it. Right? That is one example. Second example is you can take this Facebook, WhatsApp, whether you call it Facebook, WhatsApp, it's all coming from the same family of Meta. Right? So either you have a Facebook account or a Meta account or whatever, you just go to the terms and conditions and just check what are the details they are capturing. You will be surprised to know you have given them the access to capture damn everything about you. All location details, all contact details, all email details, all shopping details. They will be able to even tell you what phone you are using, what is the next likely thing that you might be in a position to do 30 minutes from now. Because they already have good data about you in the last 10 years, so they can do a predictive analysis and tell what you might do in the next 30 minutes. That is the level of data that's available to all these companies right today as we speak. It is just that something is holding them into putting things into action, and especially with the DPDP or the privacy bill, which is almost about to come as a law. It's a big challenge, in terms of where exactly you can use the data collected for what particular consent you are taken and all those things, right? But this would be a good eye opener for you guys. Please visit the terms and condition page and see what all data these things are capturing. It could be AWS cloud as well. You can just go and check each and everything that you do in your browser, whether it's a incognito mode or whatever mode, you will see it's happening there, right? So that's the idea. Now, many of you might be thinking that, cyber security experts, cyber crew, criminals, hackers, are brilliant techies hai yaar. Kuch to zabardast techies hai, that's why they are able to do it. No. In fact, some of the best hackers in the world, they are not techies at all. They don't hack machines, they hack people. Best hackers are someone who hack people, not the machines. And how they do it? With psychology. So anyone with social science subjects as the subject for civil services here? Okay, great. Anyone else? So this is the extent to which your sociology, psychology, those subjects are used in criminal science out here. Okay. So if someone wants to read this, there are so many spelling mistakes and whatever not, but still your mind is able to read it, right? Same thing even with Kannada. It's just not that English has got a special flavor or something, right? This is exactly what is made use of. That is also one of the reasons why illiterate people sitting somewhere in some nook and corner of the villages in India, they are able to create very customized messages and send it across to you, right? Take for example these examples. These have become quite outdated. I don't even want to spend much time there. But if you look at this, this is a typical wrong bill that has been sent across to a person with a QR code, and you will scan it and then you will get fraud. For example, you imagine the person who is coming and giving you electricity bills or water bills in Bangalore. He is coming up with some fake readers because he is not an employee. He is a fake person coming with a fake uniform. He will give this. Tolly up a bill, scan, dung, 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 dung. Just Chanda layout will have around 100 crores loss. Right? It's a very practical example that's happening. So nowadays you receive bills in email, in SMS services, some links, WhatsApp and whatnot. Right? So please pay attention. Usually this first symptom, which is no more applicable in a vast level nowadays, but low symptom is you will have some of the other problem with the spellings. Some contextual reference might not fix up. For example, we never call our officers out here as electricity officers. Have you heard BWSS been the electricity officer ban bill kotta, right? So some narrative somewhere they have heard, possibly some Nigerian gang or some Pakistani gang, using some context which is not there for the local, right? For example, in Bangalore, for that matter, most of us go to Bangalore one office and pay our bills. Tandevargen kelsa, Bangalore one office go gade kelsa, right? Every day, possibly, some senior citizens will be trying to go to some or the other government office and do the billing, right? Or some, for that matter, would say like, I do not have any online account at all. I don't have SMS banking. I don't have net banking. I am retired person. I don't have anything linked to anything. I am safe. This is the usual things that senior citizens say. They think that they are safe, but that is not the case. Think in a technical term. For example, what is your name, ma'am? Neha. Okay. Let us say Neha has got a grandfather and he thinks that he has not activated SMS banking, net banking, and he doesn't even have a debit card, so he's cyber safe. Okay. From the technical orientation, just think, what does that basically mean? That basically means that let us say that he has got a banking account with HDFC. In the HDFC core banking solution, under net banking, the flag would be either yes or a no, right? In terms of a debit card, it would be yes or a no, right? But at the same time, HDFC would have given you an enablement saying, please send hi on the WhatsApp to this number and we will enable SMS banking for you, right? So if I compromise the SIM card or the WhatsApp and say hi to HDFC, HDFC say, okay, flag change, right? But am I really interested in hacking her grandfather? That's the point. What is my return on investment? But if I want to, I know the steps, I know the procedures, right? That is why give a thought. Someone is retiring tomorrow. Okay, suddenly in his account 1 crore rupai bantu. How does the cyber criminals know that you retire adru 1 crore rupai bantu? How does those cyber criminals know? There is leakage of data somewhere. That helps them target the audience. Okay, this gentleman has got 1 crore rupees in account. Let me send a URL. He will click on that particular link and now the cybercrime can be done, right? That is what you call as data mapping, right? The cyber criminals also just do the same. They know what the target audience is, what is the psychology, how to believe them and make them click on particular links which is unwanted. Okay, so similarly these are all examples of me trying to put you in a situation where you are trying to click on that particular link and the money goes, right? So these are like old examples. Let's get into the latest ones. For example, just looking at this email address, you will be in a position to say that this might not be from Netflix, right? Or your Google storage is getting over tonight. Please click on this link. You will receive a mail from Google. But when you click on that email and try to drill down and check it, it would be say for example 123@gmail.com something, right? It doesn't look like a genuine email address from Gmail. But how is it saying that your Google storage is getting over? Please click on this link, right? So anywhere where there is some sort of a urgency being shown, or anything where the email address is not the right one, please do not click on such links. You can call the call center or whatever, confirm back and take things. Okay, I'll give a live example. This happened with multiple institutions, defense institutions. We have seen that particular trend even in corporates. Like for example, I don't think Vinay sir is there, right? Is there? Okay. Let me give an example, just put the name change to InsightsIAS and show. Let us say Vinay sir gives a calls to his secretary here from the admin team, finance team, please release payment to XYZ vendor. Okay, now the person sitting in finance department here, they will look into such emails, possibly the right email address, and they will send the payment without checking much. For example, let us say they need to make payment to Netflix. NETFL LX, that I will be something like LX. Okay, so without even looking into that admin person or finance person will send out the payment and the vendor will receive the payment to the wrong person. Right? We have seen such particular compromises being happened even in premier institutions like ISRO and DRDO. Right? Finance people making mistake or in urgency not confirming the email address properly and releasing payment to the wrong people. So once the payment is gone, it has been customized in such a fashion that it is a cyber crime. Someone has targeted you very specifically. Right? And the latest one what we are seeing is that for example, Vinay sir will send from his official email ID to the admin person, very official ID. But that mail would not be exactly sent from Vinay sir himself. That would be this Vinay sending it rather than that Vinay. Both the Gmail address would be same. How that is happening is that it's called as email spoofing, wherein I will be taking over Vinay sir's email control and I'll be setting from his inbox to that particular lady. Only when you go and check it out in the email logs would you be actually able to see that the server address would be something totally different. So imagine this is the level of email spoofing that's happening in the corporate world. Right? It's big vendors, lot of intellectual property is getting compromised in such fashion. So it's not only an economic loss but also intellectual property loss as well. So when you go into corporate world, you need to be even aware of such things. Imagine your company developing a beautiful product, but because of corporate rivalry, someone else is compromising you. Right? So this is something that you need to be aware of. This of course is very famous nowadays, that someone saying that I am from Mumbai police calling. I don't know why only Mumbai police. Why doesn't anyone want to become Bangalore police or Kerala police? Most of them want to become Mumbai police. Okay, so they will send you even a PAN card, ID card, everything. They'll say I am calling from this particular number and we have got a case registered against you. Please click on this particular link and your court order would be delivered to you. But what is most important is, okay fine, who are you, I don't care. Notice this .apk. Whenever you see any particular file being sent to you as .apk, don't do anything on that file, because APK is basically Android package kit. It's like .exe file that you are aware of, right? As soon as you click, your mobile is compromised. In fact, I want you to check this. Go ahead and check each and every phone out yours whether you have got a .apk installed. If it's there, that basically means that there's a very high probability that your mobile phone is already compromised. .apk. So .apk extension if you have, then your mobile phone is very highly compromised if it's not from a legitimate source. So the idea of any crook is to make you click on a link so that you can download the .apk file. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Send a link, make the person click and install this .apk file. Once this .apk file is there, then I am able to control your mobile phone end to end. Right? So that is the basic idea. So what storyline I'll give to make you believe in the clicking that link, that is contextual, that is subjective. But at the end, what is the outcome? I want you to click the .apk file. Right? So going ahead, we have seen a lot of cases, like people will send in stamp paper with emblem, seal, with president's signature, whatever. How? Because imagine you're receiving a WhatsApp call from a police person and that person is saying, hey, I'm sending one document to you, it's a court order. Please, acknowledge that particular thing, and then only I'll talk. You will look at that emblem and ooh, click, finish. Right? So please do not get awed with this sort of presentation. This has been designed to fool you. So stamp orders, enforcement director, you name the department, they will tell. Okay. So no enforcement or law enforcement agency will ever, put a gun on your head and say, please click. Right? It's crystal clear. Even if it's raw. Even they have got protocols to follow. Right? So please be aware that if you come across any particular thing, then do not click on such links. This is one more beautiful example. I always show this. See, he is saying that he is a cop, but he has got an army stuff police. Right? You go into Bangalore Cant area or Delhi Cant area or usually the army locations, uniform is available for sale. 1000 रुपए में uniform मिल जाएगा. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं. Right? But what you do, how will you bring the soul into that uniform? That's important. It's not an easy game. Right? This is where your experience will matter. So anyone will say, I'm calling from Mumbai police, 2 star, 3 star, they don't even know which star is it, but they look like a constable with stars. Okay. Just, on the joking side, but this is what it is. Okay. And let me assure you, some of the cyber criminals we have come across, they're better in GS compared to any one of you. I'll promise that with a statement. Now look at this. This is one more thing that we found out. He used to change the name of the Mumbai Police Commissioner to the latest one. If the commissioner got changed yesterday, today whatever he used to send used to be the latest name. He was so proficient. You getting it? So any person who is looking at it, for example, yesterday there was an IPS reassignment and the police commissioner got changed, and today you are seeing his name out here. Your probability of clicking on that link is 10x. So, Arey, latest. Like I was the first case that he has taken care of, right? So this is the latest thing that they play around. You getting it? Look at this once again. Now, Bal Singh Rajput IPS is a very famous police person in Maharashtra, but he suddenly gone to CBI. I don't know why. Right? So, this sort of mismatch is always there in terms of rank, designation, contextual references. Since we know it, we will be able to make out. But any normal person on the ground, Bal Singh Rajput, Maharashtra police, who cares whether it's from CBI or whether CBI is even related to Maharashtra police? Police hai. Right? So this is what the examples I'm giving you. See, date of issue, even what you say, notary signature, everything will come. Right? So don't get awed, don't lose logic, don't lose your composure. That's the idea. Because if you do it, then gone. If you think something is fishy, always listen to your sixth sense. Don't go ahead. If it's a police, no problem, he'll call you back. Or you can call them back, no problem. Any department for that matter, any bank officer for that matter, there's always a chance to call them back, right? This is what exactly I was trying to tell you. Don't download any APK files. And specifically, like we are seeing this APK related stuff in dating sites a lot nowadays. So you need to be very careful. I'm sending a beautiful pic. Please click. Okay, bank account gone. Right? And dating sites. I'm sending you some gift card. Please click to the girlfriend. Girlfriend clicks. Her entire mobile phone is compromised. In fact, I should tell you this. You people are mature enough to understand this. If I go and talk today to any youngster and tell them, that I come from the field of cyber security, the first question they will ask is, do you know hacking or not? Yes. Okay. What is the outcome? Why do you want hacking? I want to know what my girlfriend is doing. Can you hack my girlfriend phones? First question, and that seems to be the first and the last thing that the world wants to know with the world of hacking. And today, the same thing even girls ask, can you hack my boyfriend's phone? So there is gender neutrality there as well. Right? So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to convey is, your mobile is more important to someone else rather than you. You are just a medium. Right? Everyone is interested in knowing what you are doing with your mobile phone. Your girlfriend is interested, your spouse is interested, your companies whom you are dealing with, they are interested. All the Facebook, Meta, those people are interested. Even the government is interested. Everyone else is also interested in what you do with your mobile phone. That's why it's very important to have good control on your mobile phones, or else it will be that like the naughty horse, it will keep on going everywhere. And along with that, your data and you are compromised. Right? So this is very, very important. Please pay attention to it. Of course, it might come as a traffic challan, or come from law enforcement agencies, or gift coupons, or gift vouchers, or MS Lakshmi, Subbalakshmi singing very good song. Whatever it is, whenever you click, always pay attention to the file that is getting downloaded. Okay? Now, this is very important for you guys specifically, because I understand the challenges of you doing the civil services preparation. There are various days when you will find low on money, and one of the common things that youngsters do is, they try to download all sorts of loan apps. Okay? They are just called as loan apps. They are not exactly loan apps, because in loan apps, it's very important to get RBI regulated apps only downloaded, or else it's more like a gateway door that you are opening for someone else into your phone. So usually these people will give 5,000 loan and charge you 40% interest per day. So you keep on giving them the money. They will keep on asking for more, because the major objective of those people giving you money in the first place was not the money itself. They wanted your data. So as soon as you download these apps, your contact details, your pictures, everything is gone. And what they do, they will profile you. They will profile you. What you eat, what you wear, whom you contact with, who is your boyfriend, who is your father, mother. Everything is called like a graph database. Everything is packed up. And the major objective is data harvesting, not money harvesting. So they will start blackmailing you. Yeah, I know who your boyfriend is, whom you are meeting. I will tell it to your mom. I know her number also. Send me 10,000 or else. So you'll say, how does he? This guy knows, right? It is shock. Then you will try to read. Ayo, one sati tane arsara kalsura. Many people do it. But that is a never-ending story. Once you give any sort of currency, even if 1 rupee, to anyone in cybercrime, that's the end. That means that you are malleable. That means that you are compromised. They can compromise you more. From 1 rupee, it will start on, keep on growing. Demand will keep on growing. So never ever transfer any money whatsoever to any cyber criminal, even if it's 1 rupee. Right? Because that gives them a flag, that gives them a reasoning that yes, I can demand more from this particular person. That will keep on happening. This is exactly how loan app frauds get converted into sextortion. Because your phone will have sensitive pictures, whether it's my phone, his phone, whoever it is. There is bound to have some sort of private pictures in it. These are the pictures they will target and they will try to compromise you, blackmail you and ask money. So first of all, please do not go through any loan apps. Most of them, in fact, we have a colleague called as Professor Triveni Singh from UP Police. During the COVID times, he was instrumental in busting this particular gangs, almost 6,000 crore rupees. That is the extent of crime that was happening. Loan apps, almost 400 plus loan apps, but background linkages to China. So some Chinese actors used to keep people in different metro cities of India, and these people were, giving away these loan apps to multiple people, and they were operating. But the background link used to go to nation-state actors. 6,000 crores is what we have come across, which we have been able to, identify. Imagine what is not done, and that is still active multiple times. In fact, any chit fund company nowadays in Bangalore, you will see that they have got an investment app as well as some sort of a loan app also running side by side. If you log into this particular apps, you will see today's Vivek's account 1 lakh rupees. Tomorrow it has gone to 1,50,000 rupees, right? But you try to take out some money from that particular app, and you see that it will never work. It is just virtual. The money will never come to your account because it's all fake, right? So multi-level marketing schemes, all these are same thing. Only there's in, there's no out, right? So very, very be careful with this. So I'll not cover this fake apps much. This is the most important thing that I wanted to talk today, especially for youngsters like you. Okay, I'll tell you 2 examples of what's happening in the country nowadays. Let us say because of some job, you go and join some call center here in Bangalore. You work for 6 months. Whether you do a good work or not, they'll say, "Arey, fantastic work, we are promoting you to our Singapore office tomorrow." Okay, and you will be said, "Yes, I made it in life. They are promoting and sending me to Singapore." They'll give Singapore tickets, and as soon as you're getting into Singapore, they say, "Hey, last minute changes, we are sending you to Vietnam or Laos or Cambodia." You'll say, "How does it matter? I'm out of Bangalore." Great. Now what's actually happening is these people have done human trafficking, and they're actually sending it to call centers in Laos and Cambodia, which are in camp. Like it will look like an Infosys campus, but you are a bonded labor there. They'll hit you, beat you, and forceful, they'll make you work. Since you are a Kannadiga, you know Kannada, they'll ask you to call in Kannada to all the people out here and try to sell personal loan beka, ad beka, id beka. Your major job is divsake 10 to 15 people ge cyber fraud ಮಾಡೋದು. You have to target Kannadiga. If you know Malayalam, you target Malayalis. If you know Rajasthani, you target Rajasthan. Like that, known numbers. I would not like to quote. Please don't quote me everywhere because this is a civil services batch. I'm telling you. We have been able to bring back 6,000 people. Bring back 6,000 people. So imagine how many people are still there. These are known numbers. 6 lakh employed graduates, educated Indians. We have forced them out of human slavery and brought them back. Imagine what is the number which is actually there. And imagine the numbers of cyber fraud that those people are able to do in vernacular languages to Indians sitting from Laos, Cambodia. Now there are 2 things. One is cybercrime angle and another is human trafficking. Can you see the interlinkage? How did it start? Job, right? Someone offered you a job in Bangalore and took you all the way to Laos or Cambodia. This is one way. Second job is you will see a lot of our Kerala crowd getting to GCC countries, Gulf countries. Very similarly, a lot of people want to go to Ukraine or other places to do MBA education, all those things. But anywhere, please clarify, please revalidate again and again whether it's genuine offer or not. We have seen letterheads of companies, very, very prominent companies, all fake. If anyone is offering a job, especially in outside countries, there is a Ministry of External Affairs link. You please go ahead and check whether their company is even registered there, authorized to take Indian citizens out of India and employ you there. Very, very important, especially for crowd like this, which is about to start their career. Any job that you receive, job letters that you receive, first do not pay any amount, no transaction whenever a job letter. No one will say, please pay me 10,000, I'll give you a job offer from Infosys. No, Infosys doesn't say that. Or for that matter, any company will not say that. Right? Second, anyone who is, you know yourself that you don't have that capacity, but still someone is giving you a fantastic job in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Hong Kong, please hold on. Right? These people are even fighting with the family. Hey, ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ job offer ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. But this is where they end up. So be super careful, especially this is happening live with the South Indian states. Almost 1,000 people have come from even ISAC, which is a small town in Andhra. Okay, so please. So look at this. It will look like a genuine letter from Airport Authority of India, but fake. How is the AI even related to Indigo? Indigo job offer. Right? So lot of such things are there. You need to be very careful, especially as civil services aspirants, especially people who are in that age group of 20 to 25, 27. You know your job is your biggest criteria in life, but don't compromise that for the future lifetime. Okay, sextortion, as I already covered this, please don't get yourself blackmailed. And one more request, I'm sure a lot of boys and girls out here, you have got a phone. Do not carry this to your toilet, fresh room, please. This is a weapon. You're not supposed to carry this into your private areas, bedrooms, toilets, fresh rooms. Why do you require that? We have come across multiple cases where the phones are getting compromised and we know everything what you're doing in your fresh rooms. Please. Second, the camera is there. Put a bindi. Put a dot. Zero cost. There are devices available in the market for 30-40 rupees when you can actually use it like a laptop window. But you might not want it to spoil your screen cover and all. So please at least put one bindi. You can throw it out. This is the least minimum you can do to take care of your privacy in today's age. No, it's not there in my mobile because people will say bindi or kappa. Okay, so boys, you'll have to find out some other solutions. But at least for the girls, they can at least put one bindi. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so please, this is a weapon. Please use it very cautiously, especially in details like this. From where do you get the pics? This is either from your gallery or live pics coming. Right? Most of the scenarios we have seen wherein people in a relation are sending sensitive pictures themselves with full consent. You are in a respectable relationship with someone, please do not send sensitive pics to that particular person. You never know when your relationship will nosedive and you are in a wrong position later on. We are seeing this live and I am talking to a very mature crowd. That is why we have put it on the screen. This is in fact our daily routine. 1 or 2 sextortion cases on a daily basis. Right? It even leads to very serious things like suicide and all. But please, hold on. Do not share private pictures or do not let others share private pictures from your phone gallery. Do not be a victim that way also. Be very careful about this sextortion that's going up. And since you people are 18 plus as well, I'll tell you one more thing that's happening bad in the society. I'm sure most of you know divorce cases are on the rise. Big time social problem nowadays. Good or bad, we don't know. We can't decide upon it. But even in a relationship like a husband and wife, where divorce is there, the parties are compromising each other's phone so that divorce can be attained faster in courts. You're getting that seriousness. If I have a wife, I'll compromise her mobile and try to leak her out private pictures so that in the court I can say that bad character. I'll get a divorce faster. That is the extent of what the society problems nowadays is. Another form of sextortion that's happening. Please be aware. Please don't compromise your beautiful relationships for digital gains like this, please. Okay, so these are all examples of similar stuff. This is one more beautiful things that I was wanted to bring it to your notice. You have seen kids playing all these video games and all, right? I was shocked. I went into a college and I asked a crowd like this, you can say 15 to 18, 19 years. I said, how many of you use WhatsApp? Everyone. Okay. I said, how many of you use Facebook? No one. Facebook ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ವಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಹಳೆ ಮುದುಕರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಪ್ ಚಾಟು, ಆ ಚಾಟು, ಈ ಚಾಟು, ಬೇಲ್ಪುರಿ ಚಾಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. That's the reality. And you go still down, you go to school, colleges and all. Facebook, no, mummy is there. WhatsApp, no, papa is there. Then how do you interact? Video games, quick chat. I call all my friends at 4 p.m. All of us are, in LAN, and we use the same game, same version. We are all chatting there. This is the high tech that's happening with the kids. And bet you go back and check out the kids, whichever kid you know, 100% this is happening. You are not aware about it. You are not aware about it. Go to the chat rooms in the video games, they know each and everyone. Now the big problem is, if I don't let my kid talk to a stranger on the road, do you think I would be allowing a kid to talk to some stranger on the digital highway, on an online platform like this? Give it a thought. Let that sink in. Kids are actually getting succumbed. They are talking to strangers, and strangers are taking all sorts of bad threat actors are making the kids victim. Lot of just imagine a scenario, when my kid is playing. My kid is, by the way, 11 years old. He is playing, and suddenly someone pings him and says, "Enappa Bengaluru idya?" Now suddenly say, "Uncle gang gottu Bengaluru idini." How do Bengaluru? First place, how do Bengaluru idini? Then he'll ask some details around his place. Oh, ellidiyappa, Hebbalali idya? Hey, uncle gottu Hebbalali idini. Then that interaction goes on. Then one fine day that uncle will say that give me some sensitive picture of yours, or else I'll tell mummy that you're playing this. Small deals will start. Some phone number, some sensitive details, some bank account numbers, right? In fact, we came across a particular case where a very senior military officer was compromised because someone came in the chat room and told that kid, hey, Appun phone alli idondu install ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡು, ನಿಂಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿಂಗೆ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ Roblox coins ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. Can you think? But that's a reality. The senior person was compromised because his kid was playing a video game, and in the video game chat room, some bad actor wanted that particular person to install it on your dad's phone, and that was done. Right? So not some filmy stories I'm telling, this is all real cases that's happening. If I want to compromise you, I'll compromise your kid, not you. If you are really so serious to me, so important to me. Right? We are not heard about it much because we are all common man right now. But tomorrow you will go into positions, or your family members might be in a position, someone might be a gazette officer, someone might be in a sensitive position. You need to be aware about such things. Right? Similarly, we came across one money laundering case. Okay, money was getting transferred from India to some XYZ country. We did all sorts of auditing, nothing came. Then finally we found that this kid is playing video games too much. We logged in and checked the Roblox account, almost 6 crore Roblox points were there. Getting? You might have heard about Hawala. Hawala is no more the way it is happens in the movies. This is the actual Hawala that's happening nowadays. You log in with your user ID password in India, someone else will use that same user ID and password to take out the money from somewhere else. Transaction charge can be given, no problem. Getting the latest Hawala things that's happening. So threat is very much there on the gaming platforms. Do not take it easy. Okay. So what next? So I talked about the problems a lot, and 90 minutes also done, I guess. So I'll just come to the solutioning a bit. So you have got apps for almost everything, right? For your laundry, for your pet care, God knows what. So it's very high time to have an app for the safety purpose as well. And that is exactly, why we bought out this particular app called as Cop Connect. It's a national level platform. I'll come and tell you more details on this. So what this particular app does is that, like it's free. First of all, it's very free of cost. Smile, yeah, free there, right? So it's free of cost across Android as well as iPhone. You can download it. So what happens next is that, let us say, God forbid, you become a cyber victim. right? In a city like Bangalore, at least you need to go to a police station. But just imagine you're sitting in Raichur or Karwar or whatever, remote locations. So getting where exactly is the police station, that itself is a big problem, challenge. And then that ethics and philosophy will come in. आज तक हमने पुलिस स्टेशन का कभी अंदर नहीं गए थे. All those things, right? Metal apta all those cultural barriers will come in. And once you reach there, police will say, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಚಿಂದಿ ಕೇಸಪ್ಪ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಅದು ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮನೇಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್, ಆಲ್ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂರೋಕ್ರಸಿ. And policemen might not like it, but that's the reality. They will try all and all attempts to ensure that the case is not registered, right? Because there's so big case, huge backlog is there. Okay. So what happens when you do download this Cop Connect is that, like your nearest Uber driver, you will actually be able to see your nearest volunteer. In Bangalore, with our efforts, we have been able to create more than 1,500 plus volunteers. So Bangalore is heavily there with a lot of volunteers. So that is one good thing about Bangalore. So that particular volunteer would be able to help you with what exactly is required to file that FIR. Okay, because to file that FIR, you need a lot of technical details, like the transaction numbers, which account to which account, when it happened. So there is a chronology that's very much required. Okay, and usually it happens that you don't do one transaction, you do multiple transactions. Okay, someone will come and say, 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ transaction ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ sir, ಇವತ್ತು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು, ಇವತ್ತು police file ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. No problem, do it today. See, murder you did today or 10 years back, murder is always a murder, right? So whether you lose money today or even 6 months back or even 2 years back, no problem. Until unless you walk in and report that, nothing is going to happen. You walked in today, it's a fresh case, right? So only thing what might impact is in terms of the investigation to get to that money, right? So whenever you lose your money, it's immaterial when you lost it, right? So please, these particular volunteers of here, they know how the police works, what is the SOP, what is the template. They will gather all those things, and first thing they will do is they will ask you to contact 1930 or cybercrime portal, Government of India portal, and you need to report it there. Whatever the details those people would want you to do, that is already given by the volunteers. They will help you get it. So once that thing is done, the first step is done, you already reported the crime, right? As I was informing you, law and order is a state subject, but cybercrime is international in nature. So the best thing that has happened with the Home Ministry is they have opened up something called as an I4C coordination center, right? So I4C coordination is like a SOC room, something like this. For example, she is from SBI, she is from Kotak, she is from some other bank, like 475 to 480 different institutions are there, payment gateways and everything. Okay, let us say, what's your name, ma'am? Anita. So Anita is calling 1930 number and she is reporting that she has lost 1 lakh rupee from SBI, right? Luckily, she says she is UPI transaction. Now the beauty of UPI transaction is within 4 hours, if you report it to 1930, I can say SBI, you Anita ನಿಮ್ಮ account ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ transaction reverse ಮಾಡಿಸಿ, or 1930 complaint ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, you please reverse the transaction. This is possible right today within 4 hours. Golden period. If you report any UPI transactions to 1930, the person sitting there can do a reverse transaction then and there immediately. 4 hours. Because earlier UPI transaction was 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, but nowadays even you do a 5 lakh rupee transaction also, share markets and all, right? Demat account transactions and all. So very important. If you know this knowledge, Anita can immediately call this number and get the money back. If she doesn't know, or she is not in a mood to contact our volunteer, will she even come to know that within 4 hours that money can be reversed back? No, right? So that is the point. That is the power of knowledge. You need to be aware about what are the possibilities. So this was in case of UPI transaction. Let us say she lost it in a bank account. Now, when it comes to a bank account, there are different procedures to get the money back. There is a procedure by which we go ahead and the cyber criminals bank account, we block them. Then usually there are certain mule accounts. Mule accounts means, for example, some person sitting in Ballari would have given his bank account on rent for 25,000 per month, right? That's a new thing that we are seeing, mule accounts. So your account is given on rent to someone else, right? So from one account it will go to 10 different accounts so that people cannot investigate and come back. But all that can be done through AI nowadays, right? One shot I can say that where the money went, how many accounts it went. But whether I have the wherewithal to bring it back, that's the question. So we take a court order and freeze all these accounts. That is also one of the reasons you need to be careful. If you receive any credits into your bank account, even if it's 1 rupee, by mistake, 1 rupee, please report it to the police. Or else, there is a very high probability that someone, Joginderji sitting in Patna, has reported to police that someone has stolen my money, and that 1 rupee of that stolen money has come to your account would get seized and freezed. You are not in a position to use your bank account. Very clear, 1 rupee, nothing to do with you. In fact, your debit card also might not be operational, but bank and court will freeze your bank account because it was part of the cyber proceedings. Now you need to roam around the court and get that unfreezed. There's a big challenge and problems to it, but this is exactly how the nation operates today. Of course, there are a lot of feedbacks mechanisms that's being looked into in the policy level about these challenges of policing, but that's at a different level, and we'll talk about it sometime different. You getting the point? So there are ways of freezing an account, there are ways of unfreezing that account, but it can be done. But if it can be done, that basically means that Anita will get back her money, right? But that can all happen only if Anita knows that there are ways and means to get that money back. Or else she says, "Naan paapadavlu 1 laksha hoytu. Ivattu hoytu nalenu hogutte," because you are not aware about the process. Right? So investments, frauds, money is a big thing. This is exactly how our volunteers can help you. And we are very proud to say that we have created a cyber army of 25,000 plus volunteers across the nation. All are free of cost. And this particular team also includes cyber lawyers, cyber forensic experts, and cyber psychologists as well. Because whenever you say cyber, it could be a matter of sextortion, it could be a matter of some sensitive topic. So the person might require some sort of psychological help as well. So we have got a network of psychologists helping you in a voluntary basis. We have got a network of cyber lawyers who would be able to take that court proceedings, orders and all, work with the local police and help you out. Let me underline it very clearly and say, we are not competing with the law enforcement agencies. We are not trying to replace them. We are just trying to be like our home guards and your NCC, NSS people, try to sync with them and help them out. That is the reason they are called as Cyber Crime Interventions Officers, CCIOs, Cyber Crime Interventions Officers. Okay, so we want everyone who is 18 plus years to do this particular course, usually housewives, professors, teachers, any person who has got social contacts, like churches, priests, all these people will also do this particular program. It's a 30-hour course. Well, we'll teach you what are the crimes that's going on in the world. CEN, cyber, economic, narcotics, drugs. What are the video games problem that a mother should know what the child is doing. If such a thing happens, how to react, how to take care in a mature structured way. This is what we teach. So the CCIA program. And all those volunteers are on the Cop Connect platform. So if you reach out to these particular volunteers, they would be able to help you guide to the right law enforcement people. That is one. Second thing what we have done is using the CSR funds, corporate social responsibility funds from various corporates, we have been able to come up with the physical centers as well, called as cyber wellness centers. So in the city of Bangalore, we have got two such centers, one in DSATM college, just opposite the Art of Living campus, and one is in Bannerghatta Road, AMC college. So physical centers are there. It's there inside the college campus. So of course the college environment, what all students, professors are there, they are very much able to utilize it. But outsiders can also walk in. So anyone staying in Bannerghatta Road, Kanakpura Road, please visit these particular centers. They can easily walk in to this particular campus. You need not take special permissions from the college authorities and all. They have been strictly instructed that the watchman should allow them. You can go report this. There will be a volunteer sitting in the daytime. You can talk to them, any confidential things, get help from them, or even if you want a normal cyber awareness session, they will be able to help out. These volunteers who are sitting there, called as CCIO managers, they are also responsible for awareness campaign around that particular campus, like the community centers, gated communities and all. Okay, so the idea is we have got an online version and an offline version as well. So we have got two in Bangalore, two in Chandigarh, one in Delhi Cant, Palam Air Force Base. So we are targeting both the civilians as well as the defense people with this particular concept. Okay. Now I know we have almost gone out of time, but what is the net result? So as civil services aspirant, how can you contribute into this particular psychology and the way forward? Okay, so these are some cyber security trends that you see on your screen. You Google it out, you'll get much more. Okay, but this generation out here sitting in this particular room, very congratulations if you are able to make it to the civil services. You will be in the thick of action. Why? Because there are two concepts in cyber security, or rather the technological landscape, that you need to be aware of. Possibly GS, you can put in some essay papers or something. One is the concept of singularity in artificial intelligence. Anyone heard about the word singularity or knows what it is? Singularity. Give it a thought. I'm sure you might have heard about it. GS people. What is singularity? Okay, no problem. It's good that you came across this particular word today. Singularity is that particular instance. I'm putting it in very minimal, simple words, okay? There's much more complex technology behind it. But singularity is that particular event in your life that is going to happen when the artificial intelligence is going to overtake human intelligence. Do you realize how big it is? When the artificial intelligence technologies that we are talking about in the world, there's a particular point that has been calculated where it will overtake and bypass the human intelligence. So the machines will become more smarter, more powerful, more efficient than you as humans. So that was calculated in 2040 earlier, that has come down to 2030. Now the possible stuff that we expect is somewhere in 2027, 28. And by the time I finish this lecture, or it might have come still down. With the sort of compute and other facilities that's coming up, quantum computing and all coming in, it might be possible that suddenly there's a declaration saying, January 1st we are celebrating a singularity day. That's a possible. Okay, just imagine what a life-changing, epoch-making time that would be, when machines would be more smarter than you. Of course, whether you have access to those machines or not, that is a different story, right? But as tomorrow's, commissioner in charge of XYZ technology, do you think you'll be in a powerful position when you know how to make use of such a powerful feature of yours? Right? Give it a thought. That is the concept of singularity. And one more very important thing that's going to come up big time, it's already rumored, that is already there in action, is quantum computing. So whatever passwords that you're putting up, what is that? That is nothing but, it's an arithmetic challenge to break it. Right? Now modern day computers take millions and millions of years to break your 15-digit password. Right? But tomorrow if there's a quantum computer which can break your password in milliseconds, microseconds, do you think there would be any point even having encryption codes and passwords, whatever way we know how to secure and safeguard our data? All military communications, I will know what commander is talking to whom, what is being talked. I can easily, break the encryption and know what is she speaking with her mother. All telecom gone, all encryption gone, all military codes gone, all nuclear codes gone. One shot. So what happens to all that cyber security gyan and knowledge that we have earned over the years? And once again, this is once again going to happen somewhere in 27, 28. Rumored to be that China has already done it. Okay, some particular encryption codes are already broken. But imagine a situation wherein both these things will come and strike you. Do you think you want to join Infosys or some big IT company? You have a work letter that please come and join, and suddenly there's an AI model telling please don't come and join because your job is already given to AIs. Very, very possible. Don't rule it out. Right? So this is the complex world that you people are in currently. This is a life-changing, epoch-changing event in the human history itself, and you are going to witness it live somewhere in 27, 28 as I say today, but it might get dragged down to 26 also because so much technology is changing in the background. Okay, so this is why I specifically wanted to send across this particular message to possible future IPS and IS officers. So this is something that you really need to drill it down into your head, that as we speak today, there's a huge leap that's happening in the technological landscape. You need to be aware of it, whether you like it or not. Okay, no one can say, I don't like technology, I don't like physics. No. Physics likes you, that's okay. Right? So this is the challenge. Okay, so this is the CCIO program that I was talking about. So this is how, I'll give the link as well. If anyone is interested, you can sign up. It's a 30-hour course. Usually we want all the students, anyone above 18 years to do it. They can be volunteers themselves in their particular communities, or they say, right, you teach a girl and then you teach the entire family. Similarly, this teaching a CCI is like teaching the entire community out there. It could be the senior citizens or kids or whoever. So we cover everything into the domain wherein they interact with cyber security, the CEN whatever talk. Okay, so this is the CCI program. So we also issue cards like this from the National Security Database. So since this card is from NSD, CCIO card, and you all will be getting NSD cards as well, it's very important that I tell you one more facet of what we do. And this is specifically going to be interest of you guys, because let's speak the honest truth. Not everyone is going to clear the civil services, right? You'll always be in a confusion of what to do next, right? So what we have is that we have the world's third largest bug bounty platform, which is the largest in India, wherein security researchers, people who find out the vulnerabilities in tech stack, they report into us, and then we report into companies and get them the rewards. So that is a very big thing that's happening, because almost 70 to 75% of so-called hackers or bug bounty programmers in the entire world are Indians. Now imagine that is the sort of strength that we have. So we are basically channelizing them for finding out vulnerabilities in the Indian stacks. Okay, so they report it to us in our platform, and then we report it to Government of India that, look boss, there is this problem in this nuclear plant, this can be attacked using this particular chip, please fix it. Or our railways can be attacked this way, please fix it. Or there is a vulnerability in the bank website, please fix it this way. So that way the NSD database, the National Security Database, is maintained by us, wherein we'll take in everyone from the lowest level till the highest level. Like for example, Lawrence, if you can just stand up. Lawrence is one of our national cyber security scholar. He is a specialist in OT cyber security and SOC, the Security Operation Control Room Centers. He's an expert in that. Similarly, I am a national cyber security expert, but after doing that, I went into full-time in ISAC operations, and I am the director for strategy and new initiatives. Like Lawrence, we have got almost 300 plus people, including the highest person who reports directly to Ajit Doval. Because that is the NSA office, right? So National Cyber Security Coordinators, all three of them, the latest one, all of them are like ISAC cyber security scholars, national scholars like him. So that is the level and extent of our reach and capacity in the cyber security space. And CCAS, of course, as I told you, almost like 25,000 plus volunteers are there. So whether you want someone from the college level, school level, right till the PM's office, everyone is covered in cyber security to this particular stack. So all these people are various subdomains of cyber security. Someone is in IAM, someone is SOC operation, cloud operations. So they are experts in that particular operations. Okay, so if for example, suddenly the defense wants 100 people for Operation Sindoor Part 2, example. So where will they find out suddenly? They will come to us, they will say, boss, we want 100 immediate people. Would you be in a position to give? Yes. But have you done the security vetting? Yes, 5 of them from ISA, 4 of them from MSS China. Is that okay? No, right? So you want a security vetted people whom you can trust, right? So we maintain the database called as the National Security Database. Okay, so part of these people will once again be part of the NSD in terms of the CCIO staff. So all that scanning that you did in the morning, that is to ensure that you actually bared with me for 1 hour 40 minutes. So for that trauma, we are going to give that particular certificate. Okay, so National Security Database, Cyber Aware Netizen. So it's clarified, vetted and validated that the first level is the CAN level. That certificate you are going to get. Okay, so that is the reason. And one more big challenge that we face in today's workplace is the ethics. Ethics is also covered in civil services nowadays, right? Big time. So why is this a problem? Because ethics is not there both at the corporate level as well as student level. We go to college recruitment camps and all. Say school, college kids like this. We just say, okay, we have got 250 resumes here. I'm going to give you 5 minutes time. If you think that you have faked your resume, please take it back and bring it back. Or else we will blacklist you. Imagine how many people will take back the resume. Out of 100, 95 to 96. That's the reality. People fake on their mark sheet, experiences, project work, internships, everything. That's the reality, right? So how do the companies know that, when we say ISAC certified person coming to you, they will have 100% guarantee that, boss, at least this person know what ethics is. Number one. Number two, big companies, people go without training, they will put some negative comment in the social media. Company gone, right? Or blackmail with corporates will start internally from the employees. In fact, when you talk about cyber security, the biggest threat is not the nation state actors or somewhere from outside. It's the internal employees. Imagine you spending millions and billions of dollars on cyber security solutions, and one of your employee itself compromises it, right? So that is one of the reasons why, please understand this, I am repeating again, that is one of the reasons why you will not see a fresher being taken into cyber security roles. Period. If I am Infosys head, I am Wipro head, I am head of anything. I spend millions and billions of dollars in safeguarding by putting firewalls, n number of applications. Why will I take a fresher like you to compromise all that? Why will I? Right? So that is the reason, if you are a computer science graduate, want to get into cyber security, get 10 lakh rupees salary and all. Boss, you are living in a dreams world. It's not possible. Until unless you come from a very good pedigree of that college, like IITs or NITs or something, right? Or you are certified and vetted from people like us. So that is one of the various reasons a lot of people do internships with us, courses from us, because we are able to train them, teach them, and at the end of the day vet them that, okay, I trust this particular person, she's an NSD Falcon level person or NSD XYZ level person. So there are various levels depending upon your skill set. So if you are able to achieve that level with hands-on experience, only then we confirm and certify you there. For example, let us say there's a compromise in Kalpakkam nuclear plant, okay, and I know that she is eligible to work. I send her. After going, sir, tumba kashta sir, haggade illa sir. She will be killing 100 people. There's no time. She needs to save, right? So skill set is very important, will set is very important, and at the end of the day, I need to have trust in her. Do you think I'll be able to trust her with just a computer degree? Not possible, right? So that is exactly the reason we want skilled, willed, and security vetted people, and we maintain that database. That's the beauty of ISAC, right? So most of you who will not be able to go successful in various other things, this is one of the options I would say you can look into, right? But all the best for your civil services exam. Do well in that. So this is where ethics plays a very important role, and we are able to teach you, train you, because not every company will have short module courses on what ethics is. Big companies will take you through a one day program, 2 day program, 3 day program just on ethics, what to do, what not to do, right? But not every company. If you go to Pinya Industrial Estate, there might be a number of SMB companies who are not in a position to give you 2 day training on ethics, right? So this is part of this particular program. We take you through that online course. We teach you that ethics, awareness about ethics, how it can go wrong, or even for that matter from the other way around. Like for example, there are various companies in India which will give you joining letters, but not honor it. They will say, come and join us in March. They will say, next March. So many career is spoiled because of it, right? That is also ethics, but at a corporate level. So we do take actions from Government of India side as a, from the policy side on that as well. So it's from both ways, not only from the employer level, but also from the employee level. Okay, so this is how we work closely with the other ministries as well. So CCI is also one of the top 5 demanding certificates. This is marketing, please. I am proud to market this, but if you are interested, this is one of the finest certificates to have. This is also one of the top 5 cybercrime intervention officer certificate out here, and I proudly market this because this is what has changed a life of lot many people in the world. Okay, so for example, on a funny joking part, my grandma will call me, you are an electrical engineer, bulb repair mado. I say, nan kelsa allamma nange gottilla. Right? Similarly, it happens, cybersecurity expert, but they don't know basic things about cybersecurity, which is useful for the household. This is what is going to help you. Right? This is going to make you fit for at least your household, if not anyone else. So please give it a thought. So this is the most important thing. I know some of you might have gone back to sleep, but I want you to take this pledge on, Lawrence, cyber pledge. So please be aware, and I want you to take this pledge with me so that we can issue this Cyber Aware Netizen certificate. Each and every line is very carefully thought and put up there. I want you to realize what you are putting up there. Okay, so Lawrence will also take some pics from different angles. Okay, so I am a cyber aware netizen. I want you to repeat this, please. What was this session all about? Thank you for sparing time with me, but this was all about awareness. Before you even go ahead and help someone else, are you aware that you are in a position to help yourself first? Right? Are you an important person of this digital highway? If yes, then do you know the rules of the game? Are you cyber aware? Right? So that is the main point of saying, I am cyber aware netizen. Right? Second point, I shall use internet wisely. Please repeat it. Why? Because as you realized, your mobile phone and your internet is a very big time bomb in your hand. If you don't use it wisely, the same thing can go like a double-edged sword. It can either cut you, break you, right? And at the same time, you need to hold this sword beautifully, strongly, with a zeal, because someone else will use the same sword and cut you. So, be in a position to use the internet wisely. Do not use it for bad things. Right? It's a very valuable, precious time that you are going to have. Do not waste it in your playing digital games, online games, pornography, lot many other things which are the vices of the society. Use your access to internet in a very smart way. Right? I use the internet, someone can become a PhD out of it, and someone can also become a jihadi out of it. Both are studies, but one is for the good of the society, and one is for learning terrorism and killing people. Right? So it is not specific to any particular religion or something. These bad actors are there in each and every society, each and every religion, right? There could be a Khalistani, there could be someone from the Muslim society, or there could be some sort of terrorists or Naxalites or whatever you say. Access to internet is power. Please don't misuse it. That's very important, right? Or the third thing, I shall respect everyone both online and offline. Why is this important? For example, I am talking to this girl. Do you think I am a gentleman? I am talking to you like a gentleman, right? Now, same girl, if you give me an opportunity to harass her through online, possibly she will see a very different face of me, right? Because if you put a mask to a man, his real character comes out, right? If I try to anonymously contact her, ಏನಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ contact number, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ, all those things will start conversations in the wrong intent and direction, right? No offense, but I'm trying to give a practical example. That's exactly. Please don't offend anyone or make misuse of that facility of online and offline. How you behave offline, please behave the same way online as well. That's very important for a digital India, right? Or else everyone go into anonymous mode and try to behave in a different fashion. There's no difference in having an educated and uneducated person, literate and illiterate person. If you say you are digitally literate, behavior comes automatically along with it, right? I shall reach out for help when in need. Please repeat it. Why is this important? Do you know everything about the digital world? Today, before coming here at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and today after you leave at 1 o'clock, do you think there's a change in the awareness level? Yes or no? So this is exactly the point. If you don't know something, please reach out and ask the experts. There are enough experts sitting there in the YouTube, other places, but do you have confidence in that? No. So these are the volunteers whom I gave you access to, free of cost. Please access them, please ask them the help. There could be n number of situations where a girl is not in a position to talk to even her father or dad or household and report a particular case, right? But she can easily walk to these volunteers. I guarantee that they would be able to talk any sensitive stuff with these volunteers. They are trained for that. They will be able to get you the right help at the right time, right? Before things go out of hand and explodes into something else. Because I'll tell you important cases. Suppose a lady is calling, sir, itara dud kalkonde sir. Okay. First thing that I know is there is more to the story. It will come out slowly. Sir, Nandala sir, ನನ್ನ friend sir. Okay. That means that something has happened to her, not her friend. Okay. So when you talk to ladies, the more time you spend, they will slowly come out. Sir, ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಬಾಯ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡು 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಸರ್, ನಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಈಗ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಷನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಕಾಯಿನ್, everything will happen in the same call. Right? But do you think that girl would be in a position to talk to her family members and go to the police station report? Might be, might not be. But high chances in an Indian culture, she will not be in a position. But does that mean that should go unreported? It has happened to her, it can happen to her very own sister the next day. Right? So please go out, seek help, talk to our volunteers. They are trained to help you free of cost. It's not that you come to us and we'll make it a big media sensational case. No. Everything is anonymously dealt with. Right? So that's very important. I will not blindly share things online. Why do you think this is important? ಯಾರೋ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಫೋಟೋನು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. Please, you are very responsible offline in your physical format. Why are you compromising those particular guardrails in the online? Right? So please do not share things online just because someone asked. Please maintain this cautiousness and awareness even in online formats as well. Right? That's very important. Next one, I shall never verbally abuse, embarrass or hurt others online. This is very important because you never know who the other person is. It could be a kid, it could be a male, female, third gender, it could be an auntie or it could be some senior citizen there. You never know what is the level of ease and convenience to use the online. Right? For example, you go into an online chat room, someone is lagging there to use a Zoom call or something like that. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇವನಿಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಜಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನು. Don't do that. Today you are proficient in something, but possible that in some online shopping you are not comfortable. Right? What is good for you needs to be good for others as well. Right? Please don't abuse and don't go to the extreme case of abusing someone in whatever formats. Okay, this is very important. or else at the end of the day, it will be becoming that pothole road. It will be unfit for use for everyone, right? Don't use, let the verbal forums, online forums become places for abuse. That's very important. Next, I shall contribute to making the cyberspace safer. Why do you think this is important? From civil services perspective, do you think you will be able to safely use Iranian cyberspace or Russian cyberspace or North Korean cyberspace? Why? Because there is an attachment of safety involved, right? Internet is internet, cyberspace is cyberspace. But what happens in those cyber domains, that is very important, right? So Indian cyberspace, as we call today, there's enough productivity happening. If you don't take it as your personal responsibility to keep it safe, very slowly it will get into bad threat actors, and then suddenly the Indian cyberspace will become uneconomical to maintain, or for that matter won't be good from the economic prospects as well, right? Every now and then if you say that so many cyber crimes are happening, then you slowly that dialogue or narrative will come blown to cyberspace. Is that the way out? No, right? So that is the reason it's everyone's responsibility to make cyberspace safer, right? So lot of things are being done by institutions and governments as well, but as you, common Indians, common man, you need to be very clear about this particular thing, right? So this is the sort of certificate that we plan to issue to us. It will be coming online. Sapna is there to coordinate with me. So that is the reason. Make sure that all the QR codes is scanned. Okay, so I will freeze it at 1:30. Okay, I'll freeze the link at 1:30. So please make sure whoever is not done, the QR codes are there. I'll put it in the board as well. Please scan it. This particular certificate will be delivered to you online. And if you want to have more details, these are our contact details. You can possibly get in touch with us. So if there's anything else, any Q&A, question answers that I can take quickly, I will be more than happy to take it. So I have the QR code put up here. So possibly you can scan it. Yes, please. Okay. How safe is it to use public Wi-Fi? To be very frank, don't trust it. You can do any sort of emergency transactions, but as far as possible, try and avoid any sort of financial transactions or any personal high sensitive transactions, because we are aware of cases, wherein Google Wi-Fi in the railway stations have been misused big time. Or for that matter, there's always a very high chance of man-in-the-middle attacks, and they're also very, in Bollywood films and all you might have seen nowadays. You actually want to go to SBI Bank, some duplicate website will come up, and you are going and using some duplicate bank, right? So I can actually create web pages which are fake using public Wi-Fi, and you will be routed to the wrong destination. So that is the reason, don't do anything sensitive stuff in the public Wi-Fi. Yes, anyone else? Lawrence, just check out the backbenchers here. Anyone questions from the backbenchers, please? Every stupid question is entertained first. That's our priority. Please. Yes, please. Yes. See, as I told, cybercrime ivatagili, 10 ವರ್ಷದ ಕೆಳಗಾಗಿಲ್ಲಿ, it's your responsibility to go ahead and report it, and police is forced to take action. They can't say that 6 months agittu or 2 years agittu, 1 year agittu. But in the Indian context, there are certain RBI guidelines and rules which can be followed. By doing so, you can ensure that your money comes back fast. Okay. For example, what the RBI guideline says that within 3 working days, I repeat, within 3 working days, if you report that particular crime in 1930 and the police is going to take an action, 100% chances that 100% of your money is going to come back. Immaterial whether it's debit card, the credit card or whatever. Period. Within 3 working days, please ensure that you are able to justify in a court of law that you have informed the bank, you have informed the police, and you have given them all the particular details. Within 3 working days, if you inform them, 100% chance your money is going to come back. It could take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depending upon our Indian systemic issues, but it's going to come back. No denying that fact. If it goes beyond 3 days to 7 days, 50% chance is gone. 5% chance whatever. Because banks will give you a number of excuses that You are only compromising your password. You only compromise the OTP and whatever, they'll take defensive steps, right? But even in such cases where banks have taken defensive steps, we have been able to convince the courts and get the money back. For example, one of our persons associated with our institution is a very famous person called as Amit Dubey, right? He has been able to get back almost like 700, 800 crores of money back, not 1 or 2 lakhs, right? And one of the excuses of banks is that, OTP ನೀವೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು, password ನೀವೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. But the big question to ask is, who generated that OTP? ನೀವು generate ಮಾಡಿದ? Who started that process of generation of OTP? Criminal started from his device, right? ನಿಮ್ಮ device ಇಂದ ಆಯ್ತು, right? Just the legal justification. OTP is one time password. One time password ಯಾರು generate ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು? ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಸರಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರೋ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರು ಸರಿ, but who initiated that process, right? So in a court of law, if you take that particular narrative, the money is going to come back. First thing. Second most important thing is, when you are reporting to the bank, they will try maximum to convince you to say that, you gave the password, you gave the OTP. Never give that in writing to them. Or they will record your voice also. Never tell them. You just say that I lost the money. They can never force you. They can never say you, ನೀವೇ password ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವೇ OTP ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ. No. It will go to court. They will possibly take 2-3 months. ಆಟಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Then they will come back, sir, 3 months ಆಗಿದೆ ಕೇಸು, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ? Money is lost. Take action. If you go to court, bank is liable to give you 100% back, because each and every money that goes to the banking system is insured. Whether credit card, debit card or whatever, RBI M1, M2, if the money is part of M1 and M2, it's insured. There's a tedious process in the banks to claim it back, but at the end of the day, that particular money is insured and the bank is liable to give it back. Only thing is, it will take time for you to get it back, right? That is one. Hey. Man, first of all, it's cyber case ಅಲ್ಲ, local police station ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, because it's a clear case of theft and burglary ತರ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So physical contact ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ police ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಂಬರ್ 1, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬರ್ಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರೋ ಎದ್ಗಡೆ ದೋಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ ಕೇಸ್, ಸೈಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ಬಟ್ ಆ ನಂಬರ್ ಗಿಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಟ್ರೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಬಟ್ actual law enforcement agents will have to come to picture. We are cyber volunteers. We don't have the legal authority to look into such cases. So, is someone there, sir? How safe is AI? Okay, 100% not safe if you don't know how to use it, or rather, if you don't know how to be safe against an AI tool. For example, let me give an example of InsightsIAS only, for example, okay. I'll use an AI tool. I'll first of all call Vinay sir, okay. I'll take 40-second voice sample from him, okay. And Vinay sir's photo is available freely on the internet, not a big deal. Using AI tool, I will create some message. For example, I'll ask, Sapna, naale class bandu togo, special class, and charge 1,000 rupees from everyone. Example, okay. So I got a doctored video and an audio from him with proper lip syncing AI made. Now this will be circulated in the class. Everyone will believe that that is actually Vinay sir, whereas he will break his head trying to prove that that is not Vinay sir, right? In fact, I'll give you one more beautiful example. Nowadays, if you see the marketing ads that are coming in fact, big Bollywood celebrities have already gone to court over it. They'll come with fake Amitabh Bachchan voice. Have you noticed? Fake Amitabh Bachchan, fake Aishwarya Rai's voice, fake Rashmika voice. Right? These companies have not paid them for sponsorship. But what has happened, they have just used 10-20 seconds, pull out of their voice samples and created ads and using big time in the market without paying these actors. Now it's a direct monetary loss for them, right? To today's 22nd, one company, tomorrow possibly 100 companies will do the same if you don't take legal action, right? So it's very, very easier, as I said, using your Google dashboard to know your virtual reality, right? For example, what is your name, ma'am? Okay. Now, very brutal examples also I'll give you so that you can, if you're sleeping, you can just wake up. Now let us say Sadhvi, okay. I make a virtual character of Sadhvi in the online version games in metaverse, okay. Now I'll give you a live example. This has happened in various schools in North India, Uber schools, wherein classmates have been raped online. Now just imagine a situation wherein the physical girl will suddenly realize that their own classmates are thinking such obnoxious stuff in their head and doing things virtually online. So you log in into that particular games, you see a female version in the metaverse and everyone is trying to abuse that girl online. इसमें क्या है सर, वर्चुअल है ना, हम थोड़ी असलियत में कर रहे हैं. But imagine the psychological impact, that social impact that happens on that particular girl. This was a very out of the world example to just wake you up. Similarly, in the economic examples also, it's happening, as I said, in the voice samples of Bollywood celebrities being used. It is happening big time in the ad and marketing industry, and you need not go to the pornography examples at all. It's happening big time. Any face, any body doing any nonsense. Right? That is one. And since I touched upon this subject of pornography, let me tell you one thing. When it comes to general pornography, like 18 plus adults can't help. But when it comes to child pornography, Government of India and almost all the world governments are very serious. There is a very fantastic sync actions that happens. There's snooping actions that happens. So if someone is using any content of pornography which is child related, bet you that's getting tracked from Government of India. We know exactly what your IP address is, what exactly you're doing, where exactly you're sharing, how you're sharing. If there is a will and a complaint, we can even come down from Delhi, get to that exact house in Bangalore and take you off. That is the level when it comes to child pornography. Most of the places in the world, including India. But pornography, we can't take much actions until and unless the concerned party comes and does the reporting, because 18 plus adults can't help. That's clear? I think I've been able to answer both the ends of the spectrum with that example. That is basically a forensic question, how to know whether a .apk file is already there. But usually you can search for this .apk files in your browser itself and it will come up. Usually if you do any small antivirus software and all, it will show you what that APK file is. That's possible. See, you can say WhatsApp, Telegram, everything is encrypted, nothing like it. Fantastic. That is good for common man to believe. But at a purely technological level, there is nothing called as encryption. There is nothing called as privacy. Everything can be done. What about Pegasus? Pegasus was beautifully designed only for Apple phones, because we know that all the rich people or the creamy layer uses Apple. So it was very specifically for Apple. But to deploy that Pegasus, possibly it might cost me 4 to 5 crores per one particular handset. So if you are such an important person for me, possibly I will be able to do. But after wasting 5 crore rupees, if I am able to do a cyber crime for only 25,000 rupees from your mobile, is it worth it? So there is nothing called as encryption, there is nothing called as safety, privacy and all. Everything is available to everything. In fact, like Government of India, there is a mandate. Every phone call that you do, every SMS that you send needs to be stored for 6 months. So if I am investigating any particular case and I know that 3 months back there was a terrorist attack in Bangalore and this was the phone conversation, SMS conversation, I can actually ask Airtel, please bring in the records and show me what happened. Okay, so it was earlier some XYZ, it was increased, now it's almost like 6 months. Records needs to be made. That's okay. For example, from your account it went to his account, from his account to 100 different accounts. All things will come back. There's nothing like a fake bank account. There could be an illegitimate account, yes, but nothing like a fake bank account. It's very much an active account. That's the reason it's able to receive funds. Then it becomes the responsibility of the bank to get that money back. And you know, there's an insurance concept also, as I mentioned, right? So that is the problem, you know, like you say it's an UPI transaction, but at the end of the day, it could be in the background a RuPay credit card transaction as well, because you have linked both, right? So it depends upon the complexity of the transaction. That's one important. And as people from civil services, always there's a new word in the market called as Finternet, recently came up, right? So please pay attention to that, because that's going to be a game changing, especially in the internet field and the financial world, especially with UPI going global. So please pay attention to the word Finternet. And once again, that would indirectly lead to a lot of cyber crimes if you are not aware about it, right? Any more questions from the backbenchers? I'm sorry, I think I bored you guys. I think it's done, right? Yeah, please. Thanks, team. I think Lawrence wanted to just take 2 minutes, please.
Can you hear me at the last? Okay, I'm Lawrence. I won't speak much. Just to awaken you, I'll tell you a joke. Okay. Everybody understands Kannada? Or 100% or? Huh? Okay, I'll mix both also. Okay. So there's a guy from a very rural place. He goes to US. Say whatever his name is, Nataraj or whatever. He goes to US. Might be think he's a software engineer. Okay, he goes to US. He makes a lot of money. And in US, you know, technology is great. Everything is great. Everything is fast. Uber is there. Like how we have now, almost Bangalore has become like US. So I'm talking about like 5-10 years back. This guy goes to US, makes a lot of money, and now he's coming back to his hometown. So somewhere, might be nothing against any rural place. What I'm trying to say is, he comes back to his hometown, might be somewhere in Bagalkot, Raichur, or wherever, no, Bidar or wherever. And he's going to his hometown, might be his grandpa's place or anything. And he steps into an auto. Auto ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ ಅವನು. Okay, then he's very specific saying, and this guy is little stingy guy. US ಹೋದ್ರೂ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಏನು ಸ್ಟಿಂಜಿಗೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಹಾಂ, ಜಿಪ್ನಾಸಿ ಮಗ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್, ಮೀಟ್ರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ನೀನು ಮೀಟ್ರ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿ ಆನ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೀಟರ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈ ಸೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ he starts all his he brags about all the US things. ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ US ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅಟ್ ದ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್, ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಫಾಸ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Basically he's putting down Raichur or whichever that rural place, and he's thinking this guy, auto guy, is not a great guy, he doesn't understand technology adidu. So ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಅಜ್ಜಿನ ತಾತ ಮನೆ ಬಂತು, they come to the destination. Okay, and the auto guy tells him, this guy asks what's the this one auto fare. That guy says it's 50,000 rupees. Okay, 50,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಟೋ ಬಿಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ 10 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರೇನೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇವನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನೀವು 10 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋ ಓಡಿಸಿದ್ಯಾ, 50,000 ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ಥರನೇ ಒಬ್ಬ US ಹೋಗಿದ್ದ, ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾಸ್ಟು, ಅವ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ರು, ಆಟೋ ಮೀಟ್ರ್ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟ, ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬಿಲ್ಲು 50,000 ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಲಾಫ್ ದಟ್. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, I want to encourage all of you. I know all of you are come from different parts of, might be India or Karnataka or whatever. You guys are all aspirants to become IAS, IPS officers, whatever it is. I'll give a practical example what happened just last week. After 13 years, only twice I've been abroad. 2012, my daughter was, her name is, I have a beautiful daughter, her name is Michelle. I live in Malaysia. And 2012, I had been to Dubai. She was just a baby, 14 months. Then ಅವಾಗಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು, ಡಾಡಾ ನನಗೆಲ್ಲೂ ಫ್ಲೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆಲ್ಲೂ ಆಚೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ದಸರಾ ಐ ಟುಕ್ ಹರ್ ಟು surprise, I took my wife and daughter to this one, Sri Lanka. So the first day, now what happened? Sri Lanka, you should, if you have little money and you did not have so much money, ಒಂದು ಲಕ್ಷ ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it is an awesome place you have to go. If you guys love adventure, it is amazing place. Just go to Google and in YouTube you just put some places. So what I'm trying to say is, we went to a place called Sagaria. It's Nandi Betta ella gottalla. Most of the Nandi Hills. It is like 3 times or 5 times bigger than that. And me, my wife and other foreigners and all, my daughter, we were walking, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಐಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಈ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಐಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಬೃಂದಾವನ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ನೋ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಐಲ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫೌಂಟೈನ್ಸ್, ನೋ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಐಲ್ and we can see the huge mountain there, that's Sagaria mountain. It's the 8th wonder of the world. It's a huge rock mountain. Okay, so ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಲು, ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ little personal. She's 15, she's still in the 10th grade, and very sad, her periods start on that day only. Okay, you women, you might be knowing what's kind of struggle. So ಅವಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಡಾಡಾ ನನಗೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವಿಬ್ಬರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬನ್ನಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಸಿಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಗೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಮ್. ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. I said no problem, now we will make it to happen together. Now we'll start a journey now here. ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಆಗಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ 2 ನಿಮಿಷ 3 ನಿಮಿಷ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿಯೋಣ and all that. We started our journey, and at the end 2 hour ಆಯಿತು. ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ತಿರುಪತಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳಿದೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಸ್ಸು, ಕಾರು, ಆಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಿಂದ ಅದೆಷ್ಟೋ, I don't know the steps, but it took more than 2.5 hours to reach there, and we went on top, and that feeling is amazing. You can almost look at the whole of Sri Lanka. What I'm trying to say is, you guys are all aspirants of IPS and IAS officers, right? Now you have a dream. Now it looks like just like this mountain. It's very huge. Tumba jana, very few people agate, all that. What I'm trying to say is, at least you start your journey with determination. You start the journey. There's so many examples. Michael Jordan, I can read out. Just go to Google and say, how many times Michael Jordan gotta ilva? He is the greatest basketball player. Cristiano Ronaldo, he was once sweeping the streets. He is the richest sportsman in the world. Why all that is possible is, they had a dream. Not only had a dream, they followed, they walked that journey, and every single step they persevered, never lost the sight of the goal, and they achieved it. Okay, so just like my daughter, it was tough. She would have given thousands of excuses, agodilla, all that. You will have definitely lot of hindrances coming on your way. You might say coaching sarilla, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sure they'll do a great job. But I'm telling you, I'm being very honest. Nan magalu salpa, she does well in the schools. She studies in Cluny and all that. She gets like 80-85% without tuitions. But ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, she always gives excuses. Highest mark ನನಗಿಂತ ಬರೀ 2-3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇರೋದು, ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So what I'm trying to say is, losers never always gives excuses. You never give excuses, and regardless what your environment is, what your circumstances is, doesn't matter. You look at your goal, you walk through it, and one day when you go on top, I'm sure, I don't know how many hundreds of people are here, definitely there will be quite a lot of people who will reach that goal of becoming IPS and IAS officers. And then you look back, might be you will remember, you might forget me or whatever, you will remember this conversation we had. And you will see from there how, when we went on top, we saw that aisle where my family walked, and my daughter said she can't make it. So one day you guys will go to that position and you will see from the first step you took towards IAS or IPS, and you will achieve it. You got to believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not possible. I started my job with only 800 rupees way back in 95, 96. I lost my job 3 times in recession. Today, I joined a company. I'm a security operations manager, and I started with 1 account handling. Today, God has blessed me with handling 10 accounts. Okay, so it's all big thing. So you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your dreams. Walk the process, and it's like you are train alla ಹೋಗಿದಿರಲ್ಲ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. You are in the tunnel. No, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕತ್ಲೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. But at the end of the day, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That is your goal. If you see the light, if you focus on it, regardless what's your environment, you will go ahead and achieve it. And I'm not saying everybody going to achieve it, but what I'm trying to say is, in case, if you don't achieve your IAS and IPS, that is not the end of the world. Mark my words. That is not the end of the world, because I know some people, human, suicide, that this and all barate. But there are a lot of great options, especially in Bangalore or India. India is now almost like 4th economy in the world. Very soon, I just saw the Germany and India summit. Very soon in 28, I think we're going to be the 3rd largest. So we should be grateful or happy that we are in the right place in India. A lot of opportunities. In case you don't make it, IPS, IAS, you have a lot of other options. Have the right people in your life so that they can guide you. Especially when I studied, there was nobody say, no, Lawrence, e course madu, a course madu, nobody. But today, you have AI, you have right people, you have everything. You just have to make the right choice. And nothing is impossible. Aim for the sun, at least you will reach the stars. That's all I want to say. And apart from that, when you go to the top, right, there are so many people who are like you. I would encourage you to help those people who are poor background, people who are unprivileged, people who have lost their jobs. Give them hope. Make a difference in other people's life without expecting back from them. ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ. That's what I also do. I don't boast about it. But when you do that, God will bless you incredibly. He will take you to places like you have never dreamt. Okay, so just do that. Believe in yourself. Trust in God. You give your best. God will take care of the rest. Thank you. Have a great time.
Yes. Thank you, Vinay sir and Lawrence sir. We have a small token of appreciation from the side of Insight. Please. So, thank you for the insightful session. Thank you, sir, for the motivation. Thank you, students. You can